All right, guys, we're going to start a little early. I'm a few minutes early. Usually I'm a couple minutes late, but I want to jump on this because I don't want this to run too long, just depending on where you are in the country or around the world right now watching this. But I wanted to jump on this first because I saw this today and I feel as though this slipped under a lot of people's radar. Now, this came out, I would say, during the summer. But this has been under development for quite some time. And there's been a lot of chatter about it lately with all the stuff we're talking about with AI and, you know, Project Bluebeam, which I'm going to get into tonight. And then a few other things. And when you tie this in, when they essentially are making it so that humans aren't really needed anymore. People, we aren't needed anymore in any capacity. Remember, work is going to be optional. There's going to be a universal high income. That's what they tell us. Okay. Like all of the things they are saying, they're creating digital God. They're summoning the demons with AI. When you pair all the things that are going on and then you add this in, again, what did I tell you? It's all converging at the same time. And you have to wonder why. You have to put these pieces together. So as you saw on the thumbnail, yes, guys, they have artificial wombs. Okay. Different types now, different types. I'm going to show you two things and we're going to get more into all of the stuff we need to talk about, but this is wild. Another technological advancement. Is this what we're going to get with Genesis? They're restarting using Genesis. This is a new beginning. They know. I mean, even Elon Musk said there's like annihilation of humanity. And so I believe they're just planning the restart because of all the people that will be gone. And quite frankly, they want to most likely create new humans that are, and they can kind of, and think about if these are AI wombs, AI babies, well, they can create them any kind of way they want. They're even right now, because I don't know if you know this, rich parents can actually choose all types of genetic things for their child, the eye color, hair color, the height. They could check embryos for IQs. Like the list goes on. And then again, they can mess with our DNA sequence. So imagine if there were no parents, this is kind of under the radar. It's now going mainstream. Again, they're pushing this stuff forward so that everybody kind of gets used to the ideas. At first, it's kind of fringe. And in fact, I would say years ago, this was just seen as like some conspiracy theory slop. They can't create artificial wombs. That's just like the Matrix or some sci-fi thing. Well, no, the things you see in the movie, these are things they are telling on themselves. Either technology they are already working on, they already have, or things that they are planning to come. Like it is littered with it. Okay. I've shown you guys some things, but even like the Paramount logo. Okay. Even I don't know if I showed you guys the Disney logo, how those tie into things. I don't know if I can get into it tonight, but that goes into a whole nother thing. If you remember when we talked about BlackRock and where that is located and how they blacked it out on all maps, you can't really, they don't allow you to see it anymore. And if you know that, okay, Paramount, that's a whole thing. But let's get into this because I'm going to go on a tangent like I always do. But let's watch this one. And then I got something else.
Now, this is quite the story. Hopefully you're sitting down. You're ready for this. Scientists in China are developing a device that they call a pregnancy robot.
Here's what's going on. It has an artificial womb, and in its abdomen that would receive nutrients through a hose. The robot would be able to carry a fetus for about 10 months before giving birth. You heard that right. It's not clear how the fertilized egg would be implanted in it or how the bot would give birth. This sounds like a science fiction movie. Usually this is where the Matrix comes into play and Neo has to come save humanity. Hiring a humanoid to carry out a baby would reportedly cost about $14,000. That's a fraction of what a human surrogate would be paid if all goes to plan. The prototype could be ready by as early as next year.
So many questions still remain. Okay,
so that's one thing, right?
Fertilized egg would be...
So and if you don't know, I mean, essentially, essentially, you guys know about, um, I just have to say the sex robots as well. They are trying to eliminate any need for family, intimacy, relationships, any of that. So these will be, they try to bring these things out as though they're helping humanity. They don't want you to be lonely. Oh, if you're infertile, you don't have to use a surrogate. You don't have to go through all of that. Hey, it doesn't matter that we've been poisoning you through food, water, air, land, sea, every possible way, through vaccines. Like your entire world is designed to poison you and to make you unhealthy. Even the soil at this point, and to cause a lot of this infertility and all of the different things that are going on. But no, like we create the problem and then we present a solution as a technological advancement to help you with that problem. This is what they do. If anybody thinks that any of these corporations or any government in the entire world cares about us enough to do anything for us, that's how they sell it. You have to understand. If you think that they're doing anything for us, you really need to open your eyes. They're not. They don't, like, what? Why would they care about us? Huh? You got to really ask yourself that. So let me show you this. And I saw somebody say, because I had it in the thumbnail, somebody mentioned this, but take a look. Let me see if I can make it even bigger. No, it just stays the same. All right. So we'll leave it like this. Now, again, you have to always go back. You have to see, what was in the past, what's happening now, and what's going to happen in the future. When you put that string together, that picture starts to form of what's happening. Okay. So this came out, 2 years ago is what they did. And people just thought it was just kind of weird. It was whatever. It's not a big deal. But now I'm going to show you some article after this to show you that this is real. This is happening. They are doing this. They are doing this now. They tested it on animals for a long time, and now they are ready to produce an entire civilization, an entire generation with AI wombs. So let's just listen to the details.
Introducing Ectolife, the world's first artificial womb facility, powered entirely by renewable energy. Ectolife allows infertile couple to conceive a baby and become the true biological parents of their own offspring. It's a perfect solution for women who had their uterus surgically removed due to cancer or other complications. With Ectolife, premature births and C-sections will be a thing of the past. Ectolife is designed to help countries that are suffering from severe population decline, including Japan, Bulgaria, South Korea, and many others. The facility features 75 highly equipped labs. Each state-of-the-art lab can accommodate up to 400 growth pods or artificial wombs. Every pod is designed to replicate the exact conditions that exist inside the mother's uterus. A single building can incubate up to 30,000 lab-grown babies per year. Ectolife allows your baby to develop in an infection-free environment. The pods are made of materials that prevent germs from sticking to their surfaces. Every growth pod features sensors that can monitor your baby's vital signs, including heartbeat, temperature, blood pressure, breathing rate, and oxygen saturation. The artificial intelligence-based system also monitors the physical features of your baby and reports any potential genetic abnormalities. The pods are equipped with a screen that displays real-time data on the developmental progress of your baby. These data are sent directly to your phone so you can track your baby's health from the comfort of your zone. The app also provides you with a high-resolution live view of your baby's development. A special section in the app allows you to watch a time-lapse of your baby's growth and share it directly with your loved ones. Because babies can recognize language and learn new words while still in the womb, Ectolife growth pods feature internal speakers that play a wide range of words and music to your baby. Through the app, you can choose the playlist that your baby listens to. You can also directly sing to your baby and make them familiar with your voice before birth. Our goal is to provide you with an intelligent offspring that truly reflects your smart choices. Ectolife improves your bonding experience with your baby. Thanks to a 360 degrees camera that's fitted inside your baby's growth pod, you can use your virtual reality headset to explore what it's like to be in your baby's place. See what they see and hear what they hear. Using a wireless haptic suit connected to your baby's growth pod, you will be able to sense their kicks in the womb and share this experience with your friends and family members. With Ectolife, your baby will receive the best nutrients that can support their growth. Each group of pods is connected to 2 central bioreactors. The first bioreactor contains nutrients and oxygen, which are supplied to your baby through an artificial umbilical cord. This bioreactor also contains a liquid solution that serves as the amniotic fluid that surrounds babies in the mother's uterus. It's rich of vital hormones, growth factors, and antibodies that sustain your baby's growth and development. Thanks to a system controlled by artificial intelligence, each baby receives custom nutrients tailored to their needs. The second bioreactor is designed to eliminate any waste products produced by the babies. The artificial umbilical cord helps the babies to release their waste products into the second bioreactor. With the help of a delicate layer of engineered enzymes, the second bioreactor can then recycle waste products and turn them back into useful nutrients. This way, the facility ensures a steady and sustainable supply of fresh nutrients to your baby. With Ectolife, miscarriage and low sperm count are a thing of the past. Prior to placing the fertilized embryo of your baby inside the growth pod, in vitro fertilization is used to create and select the most viable and genetically superior embryo, giving your baby a chance to develop without any biological hurdles. And if you want your baby to stand out and have a brighter future, our Elite Package offers you the opportunity to genetically engineer the embryo before implanting it into the artificial womb. Thanks to CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing tool, you can edit any trait of your baby through a wide range of over 300 genes. By genetically engineering a set of genes, the Elite Package allows you to customize your baby's eye color, hair color, skin tone, physical strength, height, and level of intelligence. It also allows you to fix any inherited genetic diseases that are part of your family history so that your baby and their offspring will live a healthy, comfortable life, free of genetic diseases. Say goodbye to the pain of childbirth and birth-related muscle contractions. Ectolife provides you a safe, pain-free alternative that helps you deliver your baby without stress. The delivery process is smooth, convenient, and can be done with just a push of a button. After discharging the amniotic fluid from the artificial womb, you will be able to easily remove your baby from the growth pod. Everything is perfectly designed so you and your partner can enjoy the delivery process. To ensure full transparency, our post-delivery free DNA paternity test helps you confirm the genetic identity of your baby so you can return home knowing that your baby is genetically yours. You don't have to worry about power cuts or carbon footprint. Ectolife uses highly efficient, clean, renewable energy consisting of solar and wind power. The highly advanced pods operate with minimal energy needs, making it easy for your baby to make it to full term without any complications. And for those who want a more convenient solution, Ectolife is made accessible so your life can be easier. Thanks to our miniaturized bioreactors and long-lasting batteries, you can use Ectolife growth pods at the comfort of your home, allowing you to incubate your baby in your building without the need to visit our factory. By owning your special growth pod, you will have the ability to build a happy family, one baby at a time, away from any birth complications. The concept of Ectolife facility was designed by biotechnologist and science communicator Hashim Al-Ghaili. It relies on groundbreaking research work that has been conducted by scientists and engineers since 1950s. Tired of waiting for a response from an adoption agency? Unable to find a suitable surrogate mother? Worried about pregnancy complications? Worry no more, because Ectolife got you covered.
Child. Oh, and some of y'all think this is a joke. See, this is what they do. They put stuff out there or people find out, but they aren't ready for the world to really, get upset or organize and cause outrage and stuff. It's like, oh, it's just a joke. It's impossible. They can't do. They have been doing this with animals for, I would say, like a decade now. Like, guys, they already have this technology. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? They already have it, but now they don't care anymore. They don't care. Have you noticed? None of the governments in the world care. They are just throwing everything at us. We got wars. We got AI. They just openly telling us, we don't need you. They like, what do you? Oh, the research. Just do your research. I'll show you this. I'll show you this. And if anybody thinks this is just, they're doing this because they want to help all these couples. It's so many couples that need this that they designed all of this technology. Sure. That they don't want you raising children. They don't want you to work. This is coming straight out of their mouths. Why do you think the Department of Energy announced the Genesis mission? If you've been here sticking around for these lives, I think you know. But look at this. Look at this. Hold on. And you have to understand, when news comes out from other countries, sorry, what, are you glitching again? I'm gonna lose it. It's gonna always glitch. It is what it is. But what you guys don't realize, if you don't see the news from these other countries, you won't really, it'll just look fake. It looks weird because it doesn't look like our news or mainstream, or everyone isn't talking about it, or you just have a few voices that debunk things. Like they debunked Pizzagate. How many things have they come out and told us was debunked, but it was real? How many times did they tell us it was a conspiracy theory, and then we find out later, oh no, it's actually real? This is what they do. But people are waking up. So look here. This is the one. Yeah. So it says Japan has developed a functional artificial womb to support premature and critically ill fetuses. Now, this is what they're trying to say. This is going to be for premature babies who are born. They're going to put them right back into a womb. The technology mimics a natural womb using, sorry, this is so small for you guys. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Actually, there's an article, but it's easier just to read what they have here. The technology mimics a natural womb using a fluid-filled biobag, providing a sterile environment with oxygen, nutrients, and waste removal for the fetus outside the body. While it is a major advancement for neonatal care, researchers are still working on it, and full-term external gestation remains a distant goal. That is what they're saying. But this is not, even Elon Musk was saying that they are able to do this. Do you guys think that when they announced the technology, that's when it happened? That's when it happened? My father worked for the National Sciences Foundation for at least 2 decades. My mother worked at the Pentagon pretty much her whole life. She was there on 9/11. Her office was hit by a plane. She was on the other side. She was a civilian at that point. She was no longer in the Air Force, but she was on the other side that day because there was like a training. And so, by the grace of God, her office wasn't hit. She died in May, or I would bring her on here to talk about that. But when I remember them talking about like the technology that they had, AI, back when I was a kid. Okay, these are things like if you grow up in the DC area and your family works in the government or military, you learn about these things. I remember my mother was telling me, she's like, "Oh yeah, they finally put that out. Oh, they were talking about that 20 years ago or 25 years ago." When they roll things out, it's already a wrap. Like it's already done. We're just new to it. But this is how they drip these things out. Okay. I mean, just like this story that just came out as well. Where is it at? Did you guys see this? With Campbell Soup? They're 3D printing the meat. This is actually a goal of the WEF. And it is not because people eat meat. Remember I showed you the tick they have now that Bill Gates helped develop that makes people allergic to meat? A man has died already, and there's about 400,000 to 500,000 cases of reported of people are now allergic to meat. It makes them really sick, and it can kill you as well. This is genetically engineered. So one of the things that is not so much that people eat meat, okay, it is that, but they believe that having farms and raising cattle and the resources that takes is depleting the earth, right? Because we consume so much. So they're looking for ways to, they've already genetically modified us into, I mean, are we even eating real food anymore? They genetically have modified food already, soybeans, Monsanto. That's a whole nother rabbit trail we can get into. Farmers are really, really struggling. But that's how they want it. But one of the things is they want to do away with the need for all of these to raise all of this meat, right? Especially beef, because cows consume a lot and they feel as though they produce a lot of waste. It's just hurting the environment, and it's costly to do. It's just so much easier if they could just 3D print a filet mignon. Right? This was a conspiracy theory. This is actually part of the goal of WEF. Like, I am not kidding you. They talk about this on stage. They talk about this. It's in their brochures and paperwork. Like, so this isn't conspiracy theory. They want people to eat less meat, and they want to 3D print. They want to genetically create all of these things themselves, grow it in a lab, okay, with the assistance of AI. But look at this. Did you see it? Let's see if we can open this up. I have a subscription to that, but I don't feel like logging in. So let's do this one. It says lawsuit claims Campbell exec mock poor people who buy its food. Actually, let me see if I can pull a video on it. That's going to be easier for you guys. Let me see. Did you guys know this about Campbell Soup? It's like, let's see if I can get a news report on it. Okay, they're denying claims. Okay, but we can still play it to see what the claims are. Oh no, this is a different one. Make sure. Yeah, this is it. All right, let me share this for you guys.
Campbell's.
Good. This morning, Campbell's Soup is denying claims about its products, allegedly made by an executive in a recorded conversation. The person in the recording is also heard belittling Campbell's customers during an expletive-filled rant.
We have that's for poor people. Who buys our I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. It's not healthy. Now that I know what the in it, I can eat bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer.
The recording is allegedly from a conversation that's now part of a lawsuit filed by Robert Garza, a cybersecurity analyst for Campbell's, who claims he was fired after reporting the alleged remarks, which he says also included racist comments about company employees. Garza claims Campbell executive Martin Bally made those comments after the two met to discuss Garza's salary. In a statement, Garza's attorney saying, "This situation has been very hard on Robert. He thought Campbell's would be thankful that he reported Martin's behavior, but instead, he was abruptly fired." Campbell's responding saying, "If the comments were in fact made, they are unacceptable. They do not reflect our values and the culture of our company." And going on to say, "The comments heard on the recording about our food are not only inaccurate, they are patently absurd."
Nothing melts away the cold like a delicious hot bowl of Campbell's soup.
Campbell saying, "The chicken meat used in our soups comes from long-trusted USDA-approved U.S. suppliers and meets our high-quality standards." And the company noting, Bally worked in IT and had nothing to do with food production. Bally is on leave, pending a company investigation. In the meantime, the Attorney General in Florida, a state that bans lab-grown meat, says his office is now investigating Campbell's products. We reached out to Martin Bally, but did not hear back. Campbell says it has not been able to verify the recording. Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Yeah. Campbell's is denying it. We buy it from trusted suppliers and U.S. meat. Do we even know what's allowed at this point? We know we've been poisoned for years. Vaccines, COVID. Do you really think that they are not doing this? I mean, like we all kind of pretty much know this now. And then going back into them genetically,
If the comments were in fact
part of the kind of like the AI thing or the WEF, what they want to do is to 3D print, bioengineer organs, right? We already know there's a huge black market, especially out of China and I believe in India, like poor countries or countries that they really, I would say China, seriously. I don't want to claim any other countries right now, but we know for sure with China, there's reports all over the place that China, illegally harvests organs. So with these growth pods of these babies, do you really think these babies, okay, that they are wanting to create, right? These technocrats, these transhumanists want to create, that they're just for all these families because they love us and they just want you to be able to reproduce. Those of us who they see with low IQ, we're poor compared to them. We want rights. We're not going to just take their propaganda slop and just digest it, Dude, are they just doing this for, like, think about that. They want to do that for us. But they've already said that we need less humans. They want to get rid of us. So what else are they growing these babies for that have no parents? Organs, trafficking things, which I'm not going to talk about right now. Can you imagine? And these children are raised without any mother or any nurturing. I mean, you do realize before the age of 2, everything sets in. The person's going to be a narcissist, a psychopath, like all of that sets in and they have no nurturing. Have you seen what happens to children who are, they have no parents, they're in an orphanage? The mental disorders that they have. And they're raised by the government. Some are raised by the government. Some are, I guess, put together to be super soldiers because that is what they want. They have openly stated this. Others are for organ harvesting. Others are for Epstein and worse like things. This is where we're headed. This world is falling. There's nothing good in this world. I mean, there's good people. Okay? There's good people. But I'm talking about the world overall is fallen, and we know this. And you cannot be surprised by anything. I want you to stop with any moral outrage. I want you to think the worst things that could possibly happen. Do you know how we know? Do you know how we found out that the human body was over 70% water? Do you know about what happened in Japan? I cannot talk about it on this channel. Look it up after this. Write it down. Make a note of what I just told you. Look it up. Most of the world has never heard of these things, but they've always existed. Just like our real history, we don't know about it, as I've shown you. So I just wanted to put that out there. I wanted to listen. I don't know what's down the pipeline and what they're, but clearly, this is something that they want and something that has been, part of what they've planned. They've talked about it, like I said, openly. And this is what you got to pay attention to. Keep your eyes and ears open. Okay. So let me I'm going to switch gears here. Let me see if how this will look in here. Now I got to put this as a disclaimer. He looks so funny sitting there. I have to put this as a disclaimer. Project Bluebeam is a conspiracy theory. Okay. I must tell you that. It is a conspiracy theory. We're just going to be informed about it. And then we're going to look at what's happening today so you can understand what they're trying to do. All right. And it's very important because at first I didn't think they activated it. But as I started to think about it, I said, I think they're trying to slow drip this with all the stuff they have coming out now. All the things that I think in the live earlier, I don't know if I did it in the live or not, but I talked about how, Trump is now supposed to come out and say that, yes, we have this alien life and all of that. But I'll play some things. But I have to lay this foundation that this is conspiracy. Everything else is just opinion and religious beliefs.
Bluebeam is a theory introduced by journalist Serge Monast in the 1990s, which outlines a multi-phase plan allegedly designed to bring about a global authoritarian government. According to the theory, the plan involves the use of advanced holographic technology and psychological manipulation to simulate a worldwide religious or extraterrestrial event. This would be followed by the breakdown of traditional belief systems and the introduction of a unified global faith. The theory claims this would be carried out in 4 stages: engineered archaeological discoveries, a large-scale holographic display in the sky tailored to different religions, like the example here, synthetic telepathic communication, and a staged supernatural event intended to create chaos and compliance. Supporters of the theory argue that the goal is to usher in a centralized global authority. While Project Bluebeam is widely discussed in alternative media, it remains speculative and is not supported by official documentation or verified sources. Of course, a lot of people have different thoughts of Project Bluebeam. The video I did about the big UFO basically barreling to Earth, some people believe that is part of Project Bluebeam, but there's a lot of stuff like this. The holographic thing is probably one of the most discussed. Maybe that technology exists. We've seen how much drone technology has evolved and what they could do with the light shows. So just imagine what governments might have. But this is all, again, speculation, but let me know what you think.
Okay, so you see that, and I'm going to actually, let me close out all of this. I'm going to share this one. Oh, this is way too big. I want to actually, let me play something else because we're going to discuss Project Bluebeam. This is going to if you guys don't know what it is, it's going to kind of give you a foundation of Project Bluebeam. But let me show you. Did you guys see the concert in Giza? Did you guys see that? The pyramids of Giza? Let me show you. I think this is it. Yeah, here we go. Let me remove. And yeah, I'll make this a little bigger.
I've seen the videos about the concert that went down at the pyramids of Giza in Egypt because a lot of people are saying that this is not about music. This is definitely giving spiritual warfare. The concert was called Anima Quantum Genesis, but it was way more than lasers and beats. Something felt very much different because people were stating it was giving rituals or maybe even revelations, pretty much truth hidden in plain sight. And it's about an android named Eva that's supposed to merge humans with machinery, with technology. And it was giving like consciousness meets creation, but they had all types of symbolisms from serpents to all types of, angels and just fire and just hidden, geometry, just many different things that make people feel very much uncomfortable. And while many people seem to enjoy it, a lot of people felt as if it was quite demonic. All of these visuals were projected onto the pyramids themselves. Now think about that. One of the oldest human symbols of power and eternity, now pulsing with digital life, AI imagery, and machine consciousness. Quite literally like the old world and the new world shaking hands, or pretty much fusing together. That's what it was symbolizing. People are saying that this absolutely wasn't random, because quantum genesis means the birth of something new from the unseen, and their final act was called the end of Genesis, which pretty much means the end of creation. So this was almost like a message that the era of human origin is over, and whatever is next is not organic, that it'll be artificial and completely engineered. There's this eerie feeling that the show was way more than entertainment, and pretty much more so a transmission, like a warning about the next stages of evolution, like the setting with the pyramids perfectly aligned with the stars, kind of like a cosmic connection. But that's what I'm seeing in the comments. Maybe there's just a lot of fear mongering going on, but the timing just felt really deliberate. Like the words, the imagery, it all just points to transformation, transcendence, or even maybe replacement. So what do you guys think when you see all of these images? Was this just an artistic statement, a musical expression, or something way deeper, like quite literal rituals and activations hidden right before our very own eyes? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Per usual, this is all alleged. I'm just going based off what I see online. Can't confirm or deny anything. But if you haven't heard about quantum genesis, definitely implore you to do your research. Whatever else I find out, I will be back though.
So that's what went on. If you have not looked up what happened with that, they were just projecting these things. I mean, it was like disgusting. It was like humanoid robot. In fact, do I have that one? Let me, just so I can show you it bigger. This thing, guys, I'm probably frozen right now and glitching. No, sorry. I'm probably glitching to death right now, but just let me show you this if I have it. I can't remember if I have it on my actual computer or not. Is this it? No, this isn't it. Okay. I don't have it, but you can look it up. It was just really wild, like wild. And did you see what that was called? It was called quantum genesis, right? I'm seeing this everywhere. We have the Genesis going on now, the Genesis mission that Trump announced, the Department of Energy. Let me make this bigger. The Department of Energy announced, right? Okay. I want you to see this. But look, it says, let me see if I can find the part where they talk about like they are going to use quantum. I'm seeing that word as well. So these concerts and things are not, these are testing grounds. Someone even has a video on TikTok where they are projecting like a figure in the sky, really mimicking the rapture. This is what this is all about. I'm trying to see. It's in I'll just show you here if you can see that. I don't need to be this small on the screen. I'll move it back over. But it says Genesis mission. I read it in the earlier live stream, but look at this. Will create a national discovery platform that unites the world's most powerful supercomputers, AI systems, and emerging quantum technologies. And they just so happened this month to have a concert that projected what I'm about to show you about Project Bluebeam, kind of like a little test. And it's just the concert level. Imagine what they really have, right? Imagine what they really have. Okay. At a concert, and it wasn't projected on anything. This was just particles. It was in the air, particles in the air that made it look like a screen or made it look like something was coming from the sky. Now imagine what the government has compared to just a concert. But the fact that the names are the same, and then you go into the records, you'll see it's the same companies that actually did that concert, that actually is involved in what we're seeing going on, tied to the government. But again, those are deeper details that it's just, we're not going to get into tonight. Because again, I don't know what I can talk about and not, because I've never really gone this deep into conspiracy before, just talking about it. And I know a lot of people, especially, I told you guys, if you talked about Pizzagate back in the day, oh my gosh, you were shut down, channels gone, terminated, you were visited. It was a mess. But more and more people are waking up. But if you have seen the things that are going on now, there is a guy, I am not mentioning his name. All I'm going to say, he has been missing. He was looking, There is a guy that's missing. I will say he went missing the end of October after he made a discovery about a big investigation that everybody's looking into right now. And I don't think most people have realized he's disappeared. He literally, in his last post, okay, let me just say, it's one of it. I just cannot. I cannot give details, but people who know, you will know. All right. He's on YouTube and he was on X. He has disappeared for a month. He never disappears. He is one of the guys that covered big time the Las Vegas shooting, the largest mass casualty we've had. And he's one of those guys that covered that very deeply, interviewing people, all types of things. He goes in and investigates psyops, right? He can find out if a military plane was flying, who it belonged to. He can find out who things were registered to. The guy was really smart. And his last discovery, he said some things and literally said, are you gonna kill me now? Like the person he was talking to. And he has been missing since then. I'm not joking. I wish I was. I'm speaking cryptically. So when I tell you there's certain things that I cannot say, you're going to have to just figure it out. This guy, I will just tell you, if you look up the Las Vegas thing that happened with that, he's on YouTube and he's like one of the most foremost people in that went into that. But when he started investigating something else, the guy went missing, and it's unusual and no one's really talking about it that much. If you go to his comments, people are bringing it up like, hey, are you okay? Where are you? We haven't seen you. Oh my gosh, they got him. And he's not as big as some of the other people who are talking, who are investigating. So when I tell you why I stopped investigating and looking into some things, I'm telling you this is a tightrope you have to walk. Okay, guys. So you just have to, I want you to be careful with things you put out or investigate, because the things coming down the pipeline, I don't know. Okay. So, and this is why I just want to put that out there, because I've been feeling in my spirit just to say something, but I just know I can't, I just don't want to be involved with that because all right. So these things are very serious, but at the same time, these things have been happening forever. We just have social media now where we can see it. We can find out what these things are. Okay. We can, share this information, where before all of our information would mostly come from mainstream media, but now we can talk to each other. I don't know how long we'll be able to. I mean, censorship has been around forever. Again, anything we're talking about, this has already been in the works. God already knew about it. So there's no need to be afraid, but there's God gives you wisdom and you can be cautious. Okay. So, and so those are the things that I want to make sure everybody is aware of, that they're aware of. Right. And if you're just a regular person, you're not some big, reporter, or you're not some big podcaster who can get a lot of people helping you or looking out for you, and you discover things and you talk about certain things, well, people even know that you disappeared or where you are or anything like that. Okay. But by God's grace, we have to keep our eyes and ears open. And I promise you, I will be here. Okay. If you see me, if I don't show up for a couple days, I know I missed 2 days, but I think I posted something on X, but if you don't see me anymore, just understand I am okay. I will be here. I'm not trying to scare you guys, but I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But I just want to put that word of caution. Because something in my spirit just has me. There's something wrong right now. I am getting. I cannot. I don't have anything concrete, but I just want you to know. I feel as though people are being rage baited to speak about certain things so that when the crackdown comes, they can come back after you. But those people are protected because they are part of creating the rage bait to identify the people who have dissent and who would, you get what I mean? Use an abundance of caution. Use an abundance of caution. No one's talking about this guy that went missing. And it's the biggest investigation going on right now. And he made a huge discovery before anybody else. That's all. That's what I'm going to say about it. All right, so let's get into Project Bluebeam. That was deep. I went into a little tangent, but don't be worried. But again, understand this has all happened before. We're just aware of it. All right, so let's get a layout of the land with this. And again, this is conspiracy theory. Nothing confirmed. We're just learning what the conspiracy is.
What if the most powerful governments on Earth were planning the greatest deception of all time? A fake alien invasion, a false second coming, and a psychological operation so advanced you'd never even know it happened. This isn't science fiction. It's called Project Bluebeam, and in 2025, some believe it's already begun. The theory first surfaced in 1994, when Canadian journalist Serge Monast published a shocking report. He claimed that NASA and the United Nations were developing a plan to create a global fake event, a staged extraterrestrial threat, to unite the world under a single authoritarian government. It would use satellites, holograms, and frequency-based mind control. Most dismissed him as a paranoid conspiracy theorist. Then, Monast mysteriously died of a heart attack just 2 years later. His research vanished from mainstream outlets, but not from public memory. According to Monast, Project Bluebeam has 4 phases. Phase 1, trigger massive earthquakes in strategic locations to uncover false archaeological evidence. This would rewrite religious history and discredit traditional belief systems. Phase 2, use advanced holographic projections to simulate a global religious awakening. Different regions would see different messiahs, Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, all merging into one new world savior. Phase 3, use ELF, extremely low-frequency waves, to simulate telepathic communication, tricking people into believing they're receiving messages from their God. And Phase 4, a staged alien invasion to create panic, chaos, and demand for a new global authority. One government, one religion, one control system. Sounds unbelievable, right? But let's fast forward to today, 2025. Now we have holographic technology that can project 3D images into open air. In Dubai, drones have already created massive sky projections for public shows. Japan's Sky Canvas project is launching satellites to paint images into the upper atmosphere. Even SpaceX and Starlink are launching thousands of satellites capable of coordinated activity across the globe. In recent years, the US government has publicly acknowledged UFOs, or what they now call UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. Congressional hearings have featured whistleblowers claiming the US has recovered non-human craft. Meanwhile, the military has been testing emergency alert systems and global communication drills through Space Force. In 2025, Operation Starfall began rolling out, a classified program said to use high-altitude drones and satellites to provide full-spectrum broadcast capabilities during a global emergency. All the infrastructure for a Bluebeam-like event is now in place. Here's where the conspiracy deepens. We're seeing more frequent reports of strange lights in the sky. Viral videos show unexplained phenomena above cities, many later dismissed as advertising drones or weather balloons. But who's really behind them? Why are multiple countries now racing to develop sky-based holographic communication systems? And why is no one asking these questions? Skeptics argue there's no proof of Bluebeam. But that's the point. A successful psychological operation works because no one believes it until it's too late. Whether it's for global unification, religious manipulation, or the final step in mass surveillance, the pieces are all on the table. This isn't about predicting the future. It's about connecting the dots in the present. So the next time you see a glowing figure in the sky, or hear a message that seems to come from inside your mind, ask yourself, is this divine or is it designed? Project Bluebeam may sound like a sci-fi thriller, but in a world of deepfakes, neural implants, AI manipulation, and global misinformation, how can you be sure what's real anymore? This is Uncharted Secrets, where we uncover the hidden stories they
So that video is on YouTube. You guys can, dig more into that. A lot of people have done research on it. And in fact, I think I may have a clip from a couple of podcasts. But even when you think about, guys, how what's been going on, again, all of these are just little pieces, little dots we're connecting, right? Because we need to get the full picture. And some things you may believe, some things you may not. But once you put it all together, it's pretty difficult not to see what is going on, right? What's going on? I'm gonna play something else. And even with the age of disclosure that came out, did you guys hear about that? Did I talk about it earlier in the live? I don't think I did. Okay, I didn't talk about it earlier. Oh, but thank you. Oh, wow. Thank you for my super chats. I didn't even see these. I got a super sticker here from Mary Murphy for $10. Thank you. I appreciate you. And whoa, Danny Morales, I appreciate this so much. $100 from Danny Morales. Thank you so much. That is a blessing. That is a real blessing for me. And now Wolfie Conservative 911 says we have 2 weeks to get a digital ID. Otherwise, we're banned from social media in Australia. Oh, whoa. Wolfie, really? We need to upload all our personal info and photos? Wait, what? I played something about Australia the other day. Wolfie. What? Hold on. Hold on, guys, because let's pull this up real quick. Whoa. How are they going to know if you're on social media? Like you just can't have an ID on there, but you can't pull up the website? How will they stop that? I know they did a ban for 16 and under for all social media, but I didn't know. Hold on, Digital ID Australia. Hold on, social media. Or are they doing it through if you don't upload your ID? Okay. If you don't show your ID to the website to prove you're not under 16, is that what they're doing? Oh, that is another good way to backdoor this, right? To protect children. Protect children. Where? Where are they protecting children? But that is so slick because in the UK, they are saying it's to make sure illegals aren't in the country. So let me see. Which one is it, Wolfie? Are you here? I'm going to hide this. Or I don't know if you can add more because the information I have here, you'll need a digital ID to prove it. Wow. They got y'all. Do not worry. Digital ID is not the mark, is not the end. Okay. We haven't gotten there yet. Okay. I think all of us at some point are going to be forced to do digital ID. Even probably for me to do this, I'm going to have a digital ID. But it's the other steps that are, it's the mark. Okay. And that's going to be during the tribulation. I believe in the rapture, I will be raptured with the Lord. But if you believe in the rapture, we won't even be here for that. We won't be here for the mark of the beast. So we don't have to worry about it. Okay. This is just the groundwork. This is just the groundwork, guys. But the fact that they want, like, is it just a photo to prove it or all your photos? Because what? Oh, wait, what are y'all telling me? I'm so glad. In UK, all school kids give full biometrics over to school. Age 10, the government has prints and DNA. Oh, they're wild. Oh, they're wild. Thank you for my super chat. Eddie Lopez, it says, hell, what does that mean? What does that mean? But you're in Houston. And it said, I love your truth. Thank you so much, Eddie. Thank you. Guys, what? Yeah, we haven't reached the point. I don't want anyone super panicked, right? You stay calm. You stay calm. Digital ID is not the mark of the beast. It's not. Understand, that's the infrastructure, the groundworks. They don't have that's not ready yet. That's not ready yet. That is not coming yet. This is what they're gearing up for, but that's not it yet. This is why I tell people, understand what the Bible prophesied is all coming true. Like all coming true right now. And I'm looking up, yes, so they are using banning social media for anyone 16 and under. So the way you have to prove that you are above 16 is to have a digital ID. And they also are going to need DNA with the UK one. And you're not going to be able to get any health services without a digital ID. I don't even think you could pay the $85, which will give you if you don't have a smartphone or you don't want to do it. I think you just will be cut off benefits and all of that. So this is where we have to really be dialed in, and maybe a VPN might work. But do you know who owns most of the VPNs? Do you know who owns most of the VPNs? Yeah. Yeah. We can do a whole video on it, but look it up. Guess who's been buying up all the VPN companies? Yeah. All right. So we're going to keep going. But so I don't want anyone living in fear at all. This is not what this is meant to do. But this is just to give you an idea of what is going on out here. Okay. And how they're rolling this stuff out fast. If you do not know the Lord Jesus Christ as your personal savior, if you do not know that you are a sinner and that Jesus Christ died on the cross for your sins, rose again on the third day for your sins, and that the only way to God, the only way to heaven is by believing in Jesus Christ. If you have not done that yet, do it. You need to believe it. You need to get off the fence. You need to stop saying there is no God. Even the government knows it is. They've been planning things for what is to come in biblical prophecy. They've hidden the signs. I don't know if anybody saw when we did the live and I showed you the Nephilim. These giant statues they say they built in 2 to 4 years all around the world. We can't even touch this. We can't even dream of building these things today because they're not. They're petrified giants, as the Bible says. We'll get into a little bit of that because you guys sometimes need to see the glory and wonder of God so that you can stay calm. Okay? So you can know that the word of God is real. Right? But this is the time to put on the full armor of God. This is the time to be dialed in. It's a lot. It's heavy. It's thick. I have to do it. Like I thought I could barrel through this multiple times a day and do live. But there's times I have to just turn my brain off from it because there's times that I get fear comes in. But guys, understand. You do know. Understand. Faith, it comes in measurements. But you only need a mustard seed. Fear is not the absence of faith. They coexist. You have fear and you have faith. That's why the Bible says to walk by what? Walk by faith and not by sight. Because what will sight do to you? What will what you're seeing do to you? Just need a little mustard seed. Okay. And the Bible says to grow your faith. You have to grow. You have to walk in it. Regardless of what you see, you have to trust and you have to believe. that you are fine. You are all right. God is taking care of you. He hasn't left you here to go through all of this. We live in a fallen world. Horrible things happen. It's trash. But he has prepared a room for us, and that he will return with the rapture, and we will be taken up for the wedding feast. Then the tribulation starts. We've gone over this before. If you don't believe in, if you think that this was a dream and the 1700s is where that came from, no. That's false doctrine. It is. It's not only provable by the Bible, but it's provable in other works going back to the 1st century about the rapture. It wasn't some dream then what Darby decided to come up with that. I hate when people pick and choose and they don't go through the full thing. Okay. You are fine. You walk by faith, not by sight. And it isn't just by our things we're going on earth, but these things that are to come. That's what the Bible says. Like this is the time to dial in, right? That's why I'm talking like this. I've never talked like this before, and I don't care. I don't care. Who like it, who don't, that's fine. Because if I don't do it now, I will be disobedient to God, and I cannot run away from the Lord anymore. I don't care. I don't care if it doesn't get as many views. I don't care what the money that comes in with it. If it doesn't come in, I don't care anymore. This is about saving lives and waking up the body of Christ, because we know the church isn't going to do it. What? The church hasn't prepared us for any of this. They're dead. They're asleep. It's religious. We are the living, breathing. It's the living, breathing word, the living, breathing church. And that's what we have to understand. A lot of people say that when they get their life right, they need to go back to church. I don't even know if you need to do that. I'm just, with these churches today, you have to seek and you will find. Get into your word personally. Not only reading the word, you need to look at the Egyptian Bible, the Apocrypha, which is mentioned, books in the Apocrypha mentioned in the Bible. And in fact, we need to do that live so I can break down what happened with King James, the Geneva Bible, all of that, and our history. And guys, it gets wild. It gets wild. But let me show you this. I went onto a little thing, but Trump is supposed to, I don't know if you guys know this, but Trump is supposed to come out with about UFOs now. So this is what made me believe when I saw this chatter, and I saw let me put this on the screen for you guys. When I saw this chatter, let me make it skinnier so it's bigger. There we go. Let's get it. Okay. Yeah, so I will. We can go over the different Bibles. I'll do that. I can do that in my next live, so you guys can, or just the history of all of that, as also the history of our world, because they lied about everything. And when I say everything, I literally mean everything. I'm so not joking. I even the slave trade, like I can like the civilization that was before us, Tartaria. Do you guys understand? But let's listen to this. But understand with Project Bluebeam, now they're talking about Trump is going to confirm there's UFOs and all of this. Did I play this early? I don't think I did. I may have just been watching it.
And I speak to people about it. I've had actually meetings on it. People that are very smart and very solid have said they believe there is something out.
Hold on. I'm still here. I'm just going to put it all on screen. I'm going to take myself off the screen for a second because I have to cough. But and sneeze. I think I'm coming down with something, but I want you guys to see this, and I don't want to be a distraction
there. And it makes sense that there could be. I've never been convinced, even despite that. I just, for some reason, it's not my thing.
So you think, one, he knows, and two, he's open to transparency on UAPs?
He certainly is very well informed on this issue. Leave it at that. I don't want to get ahead of what the president might want to reveal personally.
There's been a role to cover this up, you're saying, through administrations. And there have been people who have been threatened and told not to testify?
I was physically threatened even before I sent in my intelligence community inspector general report under the previous administration. I actually had to go and seek legal protection that way because I was, literally in fear both professionally and in my personal life.
And when you mentioned in that testimony of recovering the pilots or remains non-human, that's something that you saw as far as the intelligence with your eyes?
Yes. And it is a very uncomfortable, even for me now, as somebody who's seen it, experienced it, even talking about it, because it's so outside a normal person's worldview to understand that there is this biological sentience that have piloted these crafts that don't necessarily look 100% like you and I.
Were there pictures? Were there?
There were. Yes, there were.
When I said from another planet or from outer space, you said we don't know where they're from. Is it interdimensional? What are we talking about?
I've talked to a lot of occult graybeards on the program. That is a subject of hot debate on origin. As a guy trained in physics formally as well in my background, I leave an open mind on what the origin is. Certainly, there is the extraterrestrial hypothesis, and they could be coming from elsewhere off Earth, but I don't usually go there because I did not see that data, and I'm not conversant in the high confidence theories that the U.S. government had.
I'm not aware of any remains that the department has of any signs of extraterrestrial beings or activity or technology.
You say the U.S. government knows, but there are many other governments around the world. Do they know?
They have their own programs, and like I said 2.5 years ago, we have been in arms race with our peer competitors, namely Russia and China, and they have their own programs in this regard. And I was actually able to view a body of intelligence that discussed adversarial programs, and I'll leave it at that.
We've recovered things, you say, bodies and physical remains. Was there a sense that the motive of how they got here, what they were doing, was it peaceful, not peaceful?
We've seen a mixed bag of activity. And motive and intent, why they're visiting, that's once again, that gets into our assessments, not necessarily, we can't quite understand the intent of some of the sentience and why they're visiting. Could it be because we have interesting genetic material on Earth? We're a Jurassic Park tourist attraction for them. Could be a myriad of reasons.
For the other people who are coming out, you say to them what? You've obviously faced intimidation. You talked about harassment. There are reports that others have too.
I say that there's hope. Certainly, Congress values whistleblower information right now. And certainly, I believe there's an appetite with the administration to do the right thing on this as well. And there's some other things that are happening behind the scenes that I'll let the administration discuss when they're ready.
Okay. Well, we appreciate your time, and we'll follow every element. It's fascinating.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
I'm muted. Sorry, I was muted. I didn't read this to you guys before, but let me read it now. It says UFO bombshell on Fox News. David Grush just confirmed President Trump is fully briefed on recovered non-human craft biologics and proof of alien sentience. Cover-up spans decades, threats, secrecy, the works. Trump could executive order full disclosure tomorrow. His legacy exposing we're not alone. Aliens, who's ready? There are no aliens. I'm sorry. It's not biblical. I believe there's, we've gone through this before, angels and demons. People want to believe, they'll believe in everything but God. They'll believe in everything but angels and demons. They'll believe all of that. Although all of the proof is here about angels and demons, not just the word of God, but I mean, like, understand. And when I showed you the Project Bluebeam, they are prepping us because I could not figure out why would NASA have such a sloppy, obvious psyop telling us that 3-Eye Atlas was just a comet, right? And then the guy that they have pushing out, and then I'm going to show you guys this age of disclosure, what this person said. That just came out. Now you have these podcasts, and all these people are talking about aliens, and it's going to come out, and it's kind of, they never could just put it out from the government because they know people won't just believe the government. So what I think there's some type of discrediting of NASA that they're doing at this point. because that's why they brought these bureaucrats out who, and it just, I mean, they were getting destroyed by astronomers, scientists, people who not religious by any means. Most of them are atheists. And they were just like, this is absolutely a lie. It makes no sense that this is hogwash. 3i Atlas is in no way form a normal comment. They just say it's from another, I don't know, whatever they call it space. Listen, I believe the word of God, okay? That we live in a firmament, dome, firmament. The Bible says this, that separates the waters from above and the waters from below, and that we are sitting on pillars. To believe anything else is evolution, is anti-biblical. Did you know that? And there's still churches and things, they'll talk about the universe and space and all of that. That's anti-biblical. I don't know if you know this. And when people say, oh, the heavens, because it says plural, well, yeah, there's 7 heavens. And you got to go look at the book of Enoch, which they removed from the Bible. It gives way more details. In detail, I played a video, I think maybe in my first live, about all of that. God talks about the heavens. This is all biblical, okay? This is all biblical. This outer space, I showed you how these planets, we don't even have a picture of Earth. You guys know that that's all CGI, right? You know about the moon landing, it's fake, and all the NASA bloopers. Maybe we'll get into the NASA bloopers so we're on this. But I want to show you this. But, sorry, they're prepping us, right? So they have, this is Avi Loeb. This is the guy that, and let me make it so it fits on the screen better. That's him. That's Avi. So he has been coming out and saying that this is extraterrestrial and all of, and I showed him before, this is extraterrestrial, and there's a growing movement of following him, right? While NASA's discredited. So it's building up that quarreling, and that's how you get that movement, and people start to talk and all of that. And they have now all these government officials are saying there are, UFOs. And you think about Project Bluebeam. It's never a straight line, guys. It's never just the government announces there's UFOs, so let's just, it's building up. 3i Atlas is real, okay? There are people in their backyards filming it. That's where we're getting the best pictures. That's where we're getting the best videos of this, not from NASA. So they're hiding it. So it's a layered effect that they're trying to do. This is a psychological operation because they know what's coming. They know they've never gone past the firmament. They know they haven't landed on the moon. They know space. They know, guys. They know. Okay, so you have to work with that knowledge. Imagine them, and they see and they know what's happening, right? And this is how this is what they have to do. And they knew it a long time ago because Project Bluebeam is decades old. They were just waiting so that they can figure out the technology again. The technological advancements get to a place where everything will be ready. And now that everything is ready, they can do this. And now with 3i Atlas, this is why everything is being rushed. 3i Atlas, it was first announced, I believe, during the summer that this was coming, but I'm sure they saw this a while ago, right? So they saw it, and this is where you're now seeing we're just spending trillions on AI, and now we have the Genesis mission, and now we have rolling out digital ID at this rapid pace in every country, and even Western countries. I think we're rushing the timeline because of 3i Atlas and other things. They're building a third temple in Jerusalem. We've gone over this. Okay. The government, our government, it was introduced in legislation here for Israel to be allowed to build the third temple. Our government believes in religion. So let's get back to him. So, and I want to show you this really quickly, and then we'll go back to the other thing. I'm going to show it here. So it says he was born in 1962, is an Israeli and American theoretical physicist. So this is who they are really positioning. He's been on all these different news outlets talking about, no, it's aliens and things, and kind of been the counter to NASA. right? And he's getting all of this. He's being pushed to the forefront. And I'm going to show you something funny in a second. Am I glitching? I am. I'm always glitching, but it is what it is. He's an Israeli and American theoretical physicist who works on astrophysics and cosmology. Loeb is the Frank B. Baird Jr. Professor of Science at Harvard University. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Goes on and on and on. So he's really high on extraterrestrial life, but I want to show you something really interesting. We did this last time because we went, okay, look at this. This is the key. In 2024, Loeb delivered a speech in which he declared his view that the Messiah will be an alien who arrives from outer space. Isn't it amazing that no one's even seen or heard of this guy unless you were in these micro circles of this type of stuff? But now he's on every news thing. They're pushing him out there as the counter to, I almost think, debunking NASA. And he believes that the Messiah will be an alien who arrives from outer space. And really pushing, not talking about God, not talking about angels, demons, nothing. He knows there's no outer space, but yet pushing this about outer space, and it's an alien. And this is who is being pushed in the front for all of us to believe. But I'm the crazy one. I'm the religious nut. I'm wearing tinfoil. Really? 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 Okay. So I want you guys to know that. And then let's go back to Age of Disclosure. This is what has come out. Have you guys heard of Age of Disclosure? Let me play this for you. Because this just came out too. This just came out on the 21st at a theater near you. Let's watch this. Explosive documentary about alien life. Isn't it funny this is all happening right now?
We've had repeated instances of something operating in the airspace over restricted nuclear facilities, and it's not ours.
These are otherworldly things that are performing maneuvers that haven't been seen.
There's a whole fleet of them. I have seen with my own eyes non-human craft and non-human beings.
This is so secret. There have been very few people in our entire government that have been allowed or provided access to it.
Y'all, it's the biggest discovery in human history. Isn't this wild? This just came out. Right when 3i Atlas. Right after, this came out 3 days, because it was the 19th that NASA did that horrible press conference. I don't even know what that was. Everyone was debunking them. Avi Loeb has been pushed to the forefront, I would say, for about 2-3 months, talking about 3i Atlas is an alien and it's from outer space. And remember, the Messiah, he said, is going to be an alien from outer space. And he's been talking about that, pushed to the forefront for a couple months. Then you have the government shutdown where NASA can't put out any images. And then you have And then sorry, when the government opens back up, digital ID is now rolled out. Then, so 3 days after that, the press conference, this thing premiered. And now Trump, and that was Marco Rubio in there. There's like government officials in this documentary. And now Trump is supposed to come out and confirm that yes, there's aliens. No, guys, it's all a coincidence. Am I just reaching? I'm reaching, right? This is conspiracy theory. I just want to say it's all conspiracy theory, my religious beliefs. I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Am I though? I showed you the blue beam. Does anybody find this interesting? Because if there is no rapture, right? That's what everybody want to claim. The government believes there is. The government believes there is. The governments around the world believe they are. There is going to be a rapture. And that's why they created Project Bluebeam. But then also, they're talking about the Messiah returning. Why would they need to do this? Why would they need to do this again? Because all these millions of people are going to disappear. If they did not believe that the rapture was going to happen, and the 7 years of tribulation, the Abraham Accords, the peace deals that they're talking about, they're supposed to be 7 years. They've combined, and I've played that video before, to create this, we'll call it New World. We're going to order some fries because I can't, for some reason, they hit me if I say certain things. New NWO, under the Abraham Accords, a new world religion that combines Judaism, Islam, and Catholicism. And I will repeat again that the Pope has a prayer room, essentially a mosque inside the Vatican now. That's all happening too at the same time. And they've come together to form a one world religion. I've played that video before. This is not, this isn't conspiracy theory. This isn't a joke. I'm not saying, no. This is literally happened under the Abraham Accords. The peace plan that Jared Kushner put together for Trump. 7 years of peace. Isn't it amazing that the tribulation is 7 years as well? Isn't it amazing that the third temple, where the Messiah, the Jewish Messiah, is supposed to sit in the third temple, and they've done all of that? They have the Ark of the Covenant. They have everything ready. The elevator to go up to the Temple Mount. They've gone up onto the Temple Mount. Jews, there's only Muslims that are supposed to be allowed, but now by the thousands, Jewish people have gone up there and praying. No one's allowed to do that. They have the signs for it. Again, I will repeat. And in Israel, they believe that Trump is Cyrus. Okay, that he is supposed to help usher in their Messiah. I'm not joking. He is on a coin, minted coin in Israel. That's the third temple coin, and he is on there. We've played that before. But no, guys, all of this is coincidence. The Bible is not real. The rapture is not real. None of it's real. Believe that there's aliens. Okay. If that's what you want to do. Okay. I can't walk that road with you. I cannot. I just cannot. All right. So let's get into, I want to show you. We did this with the Genesis. There was something I want to show you, and I could show you some more pictures of Three Eye Atlas, but I want to wait because I want it to get closer. It's supposed to be the closest to Earth on December 19th. You can look it up. There's a ton. Ray's astrophotography. In fact, I'll show you his thing. There's other people who have some really good information. In fact, maybe we should play that one. Okay. Let me just pull up his channel because I want you guys to see Ray. So this is just a guy that goes into his backyard and films it. There's a lot of people who do it. So this isn't like they actually are filming it and because they can see it. So this isn't like a projection in the sky yet. This isn't fake. Okay. This isn't the Psyop, right? It's almost like we have to rely on regular people to show us these things and talk about it, just to make sure the government isn't doing something weird yet, or that they're, putting some hologram in the sky or giving us some AI pictures. But there's a lot of people who are doing this. So you have to look. But Ray's astrophotography is a good one. I've been following him for a while. And so his last video, was 3 days ago. And just to play this so you can see he's not like some weirdo. Do I need to refresh myself? Yeah, I'll glitch no matter what, but here.
Initiate drop sequence.
Sorry, he did a fancy intro on this one, but you'll see.
So today is Sunday. It's around 2:30 p.m. I'm not planning to post any video today. I was wanting to go after the data, process the data, and take a look at it. That was the plan. But the plans changed once I started looking at the data. I was going after the core of the comet. If it is not a comet or anything but a comet, the core should look different, right? That was my thought process. So I took all the data, reduced the size of the images that I had captured just to see the core, and almost processed it like the way I process a planetary picture, right? So I had taken pictures of Saturn, Mars before, and you take a video of those files, and there are multiple software that you could use to sharpen the look and feel and the surface features of the planets. So my thought process was, I'm going to go do the same thing. I'll reduce the brightness. I'm going to use like a planetary processing approach. And I was not successful. All I'm seeing is like a grain, a small pixel, or like a tiny ball, which is actually bright as soon as I process it. I don't understand why it is getting brighter the moment I process it, even though I was keeping the brightness way too low. And the moment it goes into the planetary processing, it's getting brighter. I'll show you that. It's not making any sense for me why it is doing that. But anyway, I don't think I would be able to resolve the core with the way I was going. I was still going after, like, what is this, right? How do I solve the problem? So I was looking still at the coma around it. And the coma is looking a bit of a green hue there. And I was playing by exporting the data and taking a look at reducing the black point, actually increasing the black point, and I reduce the green.
Okay, so he's just kind of describing it. If you don't follow him and you don't understand, you may be getting lost in it. But he basically gets his videos, his pictures, and then he processes it and shows you in real time what he's doing. Shows you in real time how if he tries to enhance or sharpen, or so that we can see more of the 3-eye atlas. Now, this was 2 days ago. I wonder where Ray is. Why is he? Listen, when people aren't showing up anymore, you better check on them. You better check on them. I told you guys, check on them. But let me just see if he did a live or anything recently. No, that was 4 days ago. So normally he puts out something every day. Well, not every day. Okay, he did. Okay, sometimes he skips days. So, Ray, you have one more day to come back, and then we're putting out the hunt for you. All right, to find out what's going on. But let's pop over here really quickly. Let me refresh my page. I'm gonna refresh this because I want you to see this. This is Stephen Burns. Now hold on. He's a geophysicist. Let me share this tab. I'm gonna close this other one. Let me refresh myself real quick, because again, when the computer starts acting up and I'm glitching, this is what happens. And then we're gonna play this. We're gonna play this, guys. Okay. So hold on. It's going to go black for a second, but I'm still here. I'm here. I'm here. Hi, guys. I'm here. All right. So we're going to play some of this. Now, I played his live stream the day of, part of his live stream the other day with the NASA thing, and he was laughing throughout it because it was so ridiculous. And the comments people were saying, and he was just like, no. But again, a lot of these scientists don't want to go hard in the paint against like the government or scientists, because they're part of a club. I have no problem doing that. Okay, because I don't care. I don't care. And they don't, they don't be ostracized from the scientific community, but he does bring very good information. So I'm showing you 2 channels. If you want to continue to see what is going on out there, there are many others, but sometimes there's so many AI videos and weirdness. When it comes to this, you got to find some trusted sources, as long as we know they're telling us the truth. So let's look at this. But it says here, if you can't read it, it says, Comet R2 Swan has grown a sunward tail like 3-Eye Atlas. And I never showed you guys that. I'll show you this. Well, he may show it, so there's no need. I'm going to pop off for a second while this is playing, but I'm still here. I'm still here. Okay. So let's play it.
Here, there are a lot of unusual things occurring right now in our solar system. Of course, we have interstellar object 3-Eye Atlas, which sometimes looks like a comet, but it also has a bunch of other anomalous characteristics to it. Now it's headed towards Jupiter. We see that it has this tail here, has this clear sunward facing tail, which is quite bizarre. It's also been spouting off jets of plasma, gas, and dust and more. And well, we really don't know what this thing is. Perhaps it's even something like a plasma biont, a plasma organism. We've been discussing that on the channel from the beginning. Now, 3-Eye Atlas is not the only comet in our solar system right now with a sunward facing tail, which many are stating that is the most bizarre characteristic that it has. Here we have comet R2 Swan. So this is C2025 R2 Swan. And we see that it very clearly has a sunward facing tail. So this is the normal anti-sunward facing tail. But just now, also like 3-Eye Atlas, this comet now has this jet of plasma, dust and gas and everything pointed towards the sun. And what's kind of bizarre about this is that both of these comets are fairly similar. So they both flew in fairly close to the ecliptic plane. They both have a green color. We don't see in this black and white, but it also has the same greenish color as 3-Eye Atlas. They both had their perihelion around the same time. This was September 12th. 3-Eye Atlas was October 29th. And now both of them have this sunward facing tail. And this just recently formed in the past week or two. So that's bizarre. What you add into that now is that both of them are perfectly on either side of the Earth right now. And it's almost like they're performing a pincer maneuver where you flank your enemy from both sides. Now, I'm not saying that's the case, but because there's so much interest in this alien technological angle, and there's this new Age of Disclosure documentary, and a lot of people are talking about this right now, I think it's worthwhile to think about this perspective of us not being alone in space, and also to think about the larger strategy of the solar system, because right now there is an invasion in our space and we are effectively helpless to it, and we are seeing objects in our solar system which are quite anomalous. So to see this pincer maneuver in action, let's roll the clock back all the way to the perihelion of R2 Swan and look at their orbital trajectories. That was September 12th. We have this here visualized via the Sky Live. Link to this in the video description, as well as everything else I'm showing you in this video. That's what I always do. Okay, so we see that R2 Swan here is closest to the sun. Its distance is only 0.5 astronomical units away. In fact, we didn't pick it up until it was at its perihelion. So it did this entire zoom in here and we didn't notice that at all. That's the first thing, is that we are putting on a lot of new telescopes and observatories that hopefully catch these objects and comets and whatever flying into our solar system, but we're also pretty clueless and blind at this moment in time. And we really need to expand out our defensive capabilities, you could say. So this is September 12th. We see 3i Atlas here, still in the asteroid belt. If we click play, we will see that R2 Swan has this very close flyby of Earth. You may remember me talking about that when it happened. Here we have the perihelion of 3i Atlas, and then we can stop it right on today. And you'll notice this alignment between 3i Atlas, Earth, and R2 Swan. You'll also notice that R2 Swan is pretty much along the ecliptic plane of the planets in the solar system, just like 3i Atlas is. 3i Atlas is only 5 degrees off, which is effectively right on it. And then R2 Swan is a little bit more than that. You see its orbit there kind of going out, but it's also flying in close to the ecliptic plane. So there's a lot of interesting things as it relates to that. You can connect that to solar activity and like the flow of energy between these two and Earth. But from a solar system strategy perspective, this is not a good formation for us to be in, because effectively they have control of our space on either side. And of course, now they're going out like this. If we consider the gravity involved, it would take a tremendous amount of energy to redirect. But from this perspective of there being entities in space, that technology very well could exist for them. We have some reports of there being anti-gravity craft that can go up and zoom forward and immediately take these sharp turns and everything. There's a lot of weird stuff out there. There's also a lot of nonsense in the UFO, UAP community that's just made up. And there's a lot of people that just say stuff to say stuff with that, and they don't provide evidence. But there are some unusual things that are documented across time. In fact, going back thousands of years. You can look at some of the historic, ancient evidence for this. So very, very interesting. But this is effectively a pincer maneuver, because a pincer maneuver is where you go in from the front and then come in on the sides. And this is effectively where we are right now. And we also have this line of energy going in between R2 Swan and 3i Atlas. But this is made even more bizarre by the fact that R2 Swan is now looking like 3i Atlas. It is a totally different object, yet it's now also formed a sunward facing tail, has the same color and everything. Let's check it out. Here we have the Astronomer's Telegram, which is a way for astronomers to quickly post updates to the community on comets and how they're fragmenting or changing, and let's say gamma ray burst and more. And so we can go to this article right here, and I'm going to read this article for you, okay? Comet C2025 R2 Swan displays an anti-tail. The long period comet.
Okay, so I'll let you guys, this is Stefan Burns, again, Ray's astrophotography, Stefan Burns, but even he, okay, what is he again? What's his name? He is a geophysicist, okay? This isn't some religious nut. Wait, I'm trying to get it so it shows it. Well, it showed his thing, but there is a part where he showed this picture, and I actually posted about it. In fact, let's bring up my post. I'll make myself bigger on the screen again. I'm going to show you guys this post that I did. 1 second. And I posted it on my community tab. And I took it down off my community tab, not because I don't believe this, but I took it down because I felt myself getting in the flesh, and I wanted to like argue with people that were saying nonsensical things and just are not informed, right? Melanie is cuckoo. No, no, these, I mean, just saying all kinds of crazy, like it just, and even anti-biblical stuff. And I felt myself wanting to just, because I can go. Okay. I can go. So I said, you know what, let me take that off of there, because I don't need to get in the flesh. I don't need to argue with people. I don't need to get into that. All right. So this is what I posted. Let me show you. He posted this image as well. Let's make it bigger. You guys can see, yeah, let's bring it in. All right. So I put ancient, let me bring this over here. Ancient depictions of Jesus Christ returning and 3i Atlas. They're nearly identical, even the tail and 7 beams of light. Combine that with the third temple being built in digital IDB system. It's a wrap, folks. You need to get your life right with the Lord right now. So this is what Stefan Burns showed, right? Now, there are so many. Oh my gosh. If I was to get into Kabbalah and how and all of that, I'm not prepared yet. I want to really walk you guys through that carefully because I don't want to mislead anybody. But I want to tell you, it opens up the word of God in a completely different light. Like, it does not replacing the word of God, but it's mind blowing. Okay. When you extract information using the word of God and then you combine it and to help expand and understand and raise your consciousness, open your eyes, right? Open your eyes so that you can actually see things that have been hidden from us. There's knowledge that has been hidden from us that they all believe in. Not Stefan Burns. I'm talking about our government and, a lot of people say the deep state or Illuminati or Masons, that, we can go down that line. But it's an ancient depiction and it can look like an alien craft or whatever like that. But people were saying, like, even the star symbol and you see the tail projection. Remember, he said it now has this tail. And in other images I've showed you before, it has like these beams of light coming out, right? Because this was the photo that people were, and can you guys see that? Well, hold on. Let me see. Yeah, you guys can see it. And there's even clearer ones of it now. People are like seeing a cross, they're seeing the thing. And then if you compare it, I don't think this other picture is too small. There's another image of 3-Eye Atlas. Like, it keeps changing colors, shapes, the tail projection. I told you guys it went behind the sun for 3 days. So they thought it just, broke apart and was gone. It went behind it the opposite way. This is very important to say. For 3 days, comets never do. This is unheard of. Breaks all laws of physics, science, space, whatever they want to call it. This is what they know. This is why they're all kind of panicking. You even see Stefan even showed this image, right, of the ancient depiction of Christ's return. And these are not religious people, right? But this is where the chatter has gone because people are just like, whoa. So anyway, it went behind the sun for 3 days, the opposite direction. They thought it broke apart. But that bad boy rose again on the third day. On the third day, came back around. It rose again on the third day. 3-Eye Atlas. Behind the sun. With all these other signs and wonders, the sun, doing crazy things. Now you have this new thing that's coming out, like the volcanoes. And I showed you guys in the live earlier about Yellowstone. If you guys don't know what a super volcano is, a volcano just erupted the first time, they're saying in 12,000 years. I don't get their timeline. I don't agree with, but okay. It hasn't erupted in our lifetime. It hasn't for a couple thousand years, but in Ethiopia, it just erupted. They're saying 12,000 years. And then I'm going to show you something in Yellowstone, because again, we are putting all these signs and wonders together, and I need to start creating a whole database of this so you guys can like comb through it on your own. The stuff that I'm finding, I don't even know how I'm going to do it, but I feel as though I need to collect all this information so we can see what's going on around the world, because they put the news in a siphon. They're not showing us everything. They don't show us, and especially coming from other countries. I showed you in the digital ID. We didn't know what was going on in Australia. I knew somewhat, but I didn't realize how they were going to use that age restriction, right? I didn't realize that. In Italy, they're protesting. It's all over the world right now. They're protesting, but you're not seeing that on the news. You're not seeing the UK protests. You're not seeing any of it. I wonder why. But so this is what I put out there. Like, look at the tail. And there's even more depictions, right? But that goes into something even deeper that, yeah. But let me show you. Now let's move on to this. Oh, let me see it before I, let me see the super chat. Oh, thank you for my super chat, Chris MG 2011. And not once, but twice. Thank you. Oh, 3 times. Thank you so much. I appreciate this. It really blesses me when you guys, for you guys to support me like this. So thank you so much. And thank you, Tosh Gabriel, right there at $10. I appreciate that. And again, our MVP for tonight, Danny Morales, with the $100 super chat. So again, it is very much appreciate it. I appreciate everything. You guys just being here, I appreciate it. But let me show you this now. Let's pull it up. Let's pull this up. I'm going to bring in a video. And I want to say it's this one. I think it's this one. Because I want to show you. All right, this is the video. Remember I told you that someone like filmed a video? This was like yesterday. They filmed this and it's getting hundreds of thousands of views. It's going to be a couple million by the time it's done. But look at this. When we talk about Blue Beam possibly and what they're able to do and what they're planning. And this was out in the middle of nowhere. I got to find out where it was. I got to go through the comments or whatever. But let me show you what they caught on camera.
We got this button. We're testing it.
I'm gonna play that again. Did you guys see it?
We got this button. We're testing it.
They're testing it. So this isn't the full thing, right? This is just kind of like a low grade testing. But someone caught it. Let me see on my phone if I could see where this was. Because I have it saved. But let's see if we can find out. Let me just see what if anybody put any information about where this was. Let me go back to the top because that will be helpful, right? So you guys can know. And maybe if you want to look it up for yourself on the account that has this. I don't think that's an AI video or a fake, it's not a fake video. People in the comments are freaking out. Okay. So this comes from Moses Cinceneros. He doesn't have any commentary about it. Let me see if he's posted anything since. No. But the comments, people are just like really freaking out. And yeah, and some people are saying, yeah, I can tell this is not AI. This isn't for Sky ads and all of that. So, and of course, people are fighting in the comments like we always do. Okay, but let's keep going. Because when I showed you guys the Yellowstone video earlier, I'm going to play it again. And then I'm going to play for you what is happening in Yellowstone. I didn't have it up earlier, but I think it's important for us to see it. So let me move that and let's add in this new one. Which one is it? Hold on. What do you guys think of so far? How are you guys doing? It's wild, right? We're in some wild times right now. We're in some seriously wild times. All right, so I think this is the video. Are you the video? Yeah. Okay. So again, this is what I played earlier, but pay attention to it, and then I want you to see this next one after this.
Happen to the world if the Yellowstone volcano erupted. Most people don't know that there is a supervolcano beneath this lake, which is in Yellowstone Park, which is located in Wyoming, which is in the US. The Yellowstone volcano is absolutely massive as it's 37 miles long, 18 miles wide, and 4 miles deep. It has experienced 3 major volcanic eruptions. First eruption was 2.1 million years ago, the second eruption was 1.3 million years ago, and the recent eruption was 631,000 years ago. So if it were to erupt, the surrounding states of Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming that are closest to Yellowstone would be affected by pyroclastic flows, while other places in the United States would be impacted by falling ash. The amount of ash would decrease with distance from the eruption site, and due to the smoke emitted into the atmosphere, a lot of sunlight would end up reflecting back into space. This means that the entire Earth would cool by at least 10 degrees for at least 10 years, which would hypothetically help global warming. So...
Okay, they cut it off because there's a longer video on this on YouTube, but that gives you an idea, kind of like a opening thing so you can understand this super volcano is in Yellowstone. So again, these are signs and wonders, right? All that's happening with 3i Atlas, the non-comments, comments that are going on, digital ID, AI, all these things that the Bible says to look for, wars, rumors of wars, they're all converging right now. And now we have to worry about a super volcano, which is another sign and wonder. That the Bible doesn't specifically talk about this, but understand it talks about all of these things happening on earth. Okay? All this chaos, disorder, these supernatural things that are happening, things that they're saying haven't happened in thousands of years. Well, now we're seeing these things happen, the activity happening. It's wild. It's wild. I know. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let me remove this and add this one. I think this is it. Hopefully it is. Here we go.
Yellowstone is sinking again, and the timing is so scary. A new report confirms the Yellowstone caldera has resumed sinking, a process called subsidence. This is the inhale of the supervolcano. This subsidence is driven by the massive, newly confirmed magma chambers shifting deep beneath the surface. The ground is literally warping as the magma moves. And this shifting is the most dangerous precursor to a hydrothermal or magmatic event. Share and follow me now for updates on Yellowstone eruptions.
Okay, so that was a short one, but it's just to, if you don't comb through these reports, there's nothing on the news about it. Okay. This volcano is becoming active, exhaling, breathing out and breathing in. And there's all this seismic activity. They were saying animals were leaving Yellowstone and other national parks, like things like follow the animals. If you do nothing else, if the animals are leaving an area, you need to understand something is going on. But I'm going to show you this with 3i Atlas.
48 hours have been really wild. Independent astronomers are dropping images that look nothing like the usual space stuff. We've got shapes forming around bright cores, cross patterns, glowing spheres, and even what looks like a blue object slicing through the star field. And here's the crazy part. The timing lines up with the new data about 3i Atlas reappearing after behind the sun. Some of these shots look unusual. Could be natural, could be imagining artifacts, or maybe we're seeing something different and it hasn't been classified yet. All I know is this space is acting weird, and I'm staying curious into the unknown.
Okay. So it was just a short thing because I just want to show you some of the chatter that is happening right now with all of these things that are occurring. If you don't look for, even I'm finding that like I'm having to dig harder and like I'm having to like dig. Oh my gosh. Did you guys hear this? I'm sorry. My brain just glitched because I remember I wanted to show you this. But I have to dig around for this. This is wild. Wait till I show you. Oh, I'm glad I remembered. Hold on. Wait till you guys see this one. What is happening here? Okay. All right. Let me put this in. Wait till I show. This is so weird. This is so weird. I just want to add this as another data point just to digest. We're just trying to reveal a full picture, right? We're just going down the line. I'm not saying it means anything. Okay? You have to form your opinion. I have mine, but I just want to just start putting it because something may spark something in one person and it doesn't in another. Or finally somebody says, oh, wow, like that does it. Or like, this is insane. This is ridiculous. I don't know which one it's going to be for you, but I just feel led to just show different things. And if I come across it, I'm just like, okay, there must be a reason why I need to show this. Perhaps I don't show everything at once. In my glitchy tail, I'm still glitching. I'm always glitching. All right, let me remove this. Hi, Jordan. I see you. My moderator, Jordan. Let me pull this in. This is wild. Am I tripping? Watch this.
could not make this stuff up. Lego has now released what looks like the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. It's a playset for kids. I mean, what timeline are we actually living in right now? So, let me get this straight. A toy, age 10 and above, literally featuring the 4 galloping horses, the dramatic apocalyptic artwork, the scrolls, the ritual colours, the entire vibe. Now, before anyone jumps to the conclusions and jumps in the comments and says, actually, it's based on Chinese art. I know, but don't be naive, you know, symbols travel, symbols get repackaged. And you know, the moment that you put the 4 horses together with the dramatic scene, with the pale one, a dark one, a red one, and a brown one, you cannot tell me that they didn't realise exactly what this resembles in our world. You know, this is what they always do. They take ancient prophecy, ancient mythology, and they turn it into a toy, a game, you know, a movie, or even a trend. Because once kids play with it, once kids laugh at it, the meaning becomes a joke. And then when the real events happen, everyone is decentralized. You know, just look at this one timing. You know, we're living in the most chaotic end times feeling right now. Everything feels like it's falling apart, you know. It's like the era of change. And now they drop a set that lines up almost perfectly with one of the most recognized prophetic symbols in human history. I mean, come on. This isn't an accident. This is what you call normalization.
Lego has released the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse toy for children for this Christmas, right now, with all this stuff going on. No, guys. It's just ancient Chinese, blah, blah, blah. Okay. If that's what you wanna, if that's what you wanna, you know what? This is a interesting video. We could probably go through the whole thing, but when we talk about Project Stargate, look at this. Now, this is just a short clip. May not understand everything, but I thought it would be interesting. You guys can let me know if you wanna do a full review of this conversation that they had. This right here.
Familiar with the CIA operation Project Stargate?
Stargate? No. I know many of them. I know COINTELPRO, I know Paperclip, I know Mockingbird. I don't know that one.
All right, so the objective of Operation Stargate was to measure the vulnerabilities and capabilities of paranormal phenomenon in conjunction with military operation. So they were employing psychics.
Yeah.
It was a lot about mediumship and ESP and kind of seeing what we could accomplish with remote viewing. Have you read into any of this kind of stuff?
I have.
Oh, I got some books we'll give you.
Okay, you gotta
It's
give
some
them to me.
interesting stuff.
All right.
There's a man named Russell Targ. He was the former director of this operation. He was a CIA agent. And he gives a little background into how he was recruited. And from the intelligence agency standpoint, a lot can be inferred by the actual metrics by which they chose to find a man that they deemed to be a psychic. And one of them was that he was claiming to see these little orbs of light. He had a near-death experience. And he claimed there's no such thing as death, that there is another birth.
Did you guys see who that was? That's Charlie Kirk. What did Charlie Kirk know? Oh, it's not exactly what you think. We're not touching that. But Charlie Kirk has had some interesting conversations. A lot of people don't pay attention to when he has these conversations, the things he talks about he knew or he didn't know, or that he finds out and starts, that was Charlie Kirk, guys. CIA. Let me play this. Let me see if I can pull up this other Charlie Kirk one. I think it'd be interesting. This was a video I found that was buried deep. Let me see. I know I have it saved. What did you guys realize Charlie Kirk was in a helicopter before his death and he saw like him and this pilot they could see these things in the sky. Did I tell you guys about that? See if I can do it. I hate the way these are organized online because I cannot ever find anything. We'll pull it up. I'll have to pull it up later. Maybe it'll be for the next live stream to keep that going. Maybe we can get the full video. But I downloaded it. I know for sure because I didn't want it erased. But Charlie Kirk is literally in a helicopter with a pilot, and they are all of a sudden they see these objects in the sky, and they're pointed to. But we can't see it on the camera. Like, and this isn't like a scripted video or anything like that. Like, just like somebody behind him, like, you know how there's just like, oh, do you see that? And then they pull out the camera while he's in the helicopter, and him and the pilot like, oh my gosh, you see that? What is that? Right before he died. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, I'll find it. I'll have to dig through my stuff. Wait, is this it? No, it's not. All right, it's buried deep into my into here. So let's go into something a little bit more interesting, fun, right? Something a little bit more interesting, talking about our history, we're talking about the history of the world and what they don't want us to know. Because a lot of people, we believe what they taught us in school. We believe what they taught us in you know, what they told us. Most of us don't believe the government, but we do believe what they taught us. Although if you open your eyes, none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense at all. Like just the World's Fair alone. Just the World's Fair alone. Let me pull this in. Let's pull this in real quick. Because this is going to set the groundwork for something else I'm about to show you. All right. Are you guys tracking with me? You guys know we just go all over. We're just going to hit different topics as they come to me. That I think I wasn't even planning on showing any or talking about anything about Charlie Kirk, but he started going deep into looking into some things. Not the typical things people are talking about. And like I said, this helicopter thing freaked me out when I saw it. And it wasn't a lot of people who saw it. It's kind of like buried. But God allowed me to find it. So that was, yeah, I definitely have to show you guys this. I want you to pay attention to what I'm about to show you because it's going to lead us into this next part. It's going to lead us into this next part.
As hard as the parasites tried to remove all traces from the past, remnants of it can still be found everywhere, including its free energy ether harnessing technology. Airships were not the only reason they needed to white out the skies from the photos of our past. If anyone can translate, this is from Russia.
Как красиво! Прям фантастика какая-то. Обалдеть! Да правда. А, как стоит, а вот там вот эти облака, да. А это прям вот так стоит. Видишь, столб какой-то стоит прям. Да? Да. Облака мимо пролетают, это смотри, правда. Охренеть. Господи, вот это да. Чудо какое, да? О, в какое мы чудо с тобой попали, Вер. Видно, ты посмотри.
Okay. Do you see this coming from that steeple there? So this goes into when we talked about Tartaria and we talked about previous civilizations and why Tartaria is on every single map up into, what year was it? I gotta look at it. But even grandmothers today would say that Tartaria was on their maps. Okay. And for some reason, they've erased this civilization, have never taught us about it. Just because they didn't teach us about it doesn't mean it didn't exist. They will tell us buildings, these ornate, beautiful buildings that were all built in the 1800s that look like they came from ancient Rome, just in this country. They're all around the world. It's incredible. The same architecture, the same thing all around the world. And they tell us that they built these things in the 1800s in like 2 years or a year with hammer and chisel. Horse and buggy, no electricity, no heavy machinery. But this, they removed, as I start to walk you through this, they removed these peaks that you will see on top of all this old architecture. Because energy, if you don't know this is a energy siphon. You see how it's directly pulling energy? Directly pulling energy down. So there was no need for electricity. Department of Energy that just came out with the Genesis mission. I played you a video, the WEF. They were talking about water and resources and energy, that if these things are in abundance and people just get it, then it collapses their economies and corporations and governments. Because they had to find a way to make us pay for resources that were given to us freely. I kid you not. Do you see this? Because they took them off of most of these old buildings, but this is in Russia, so you have to go to like these far places where the information is not really coming out of, but some of them still have them, and you can see the energy siphon on all of them who still have these things. I'm not joking. Have you guys heard of that? Have you guys heard of that? Let me put this in. Let me see if this is the one. Here, I'll play this one. Yeah, and the spirals. Guys, when I tell you this thing goes deep, this is why at some point I'm going to start talking about this, what's called the Book of Wisdom. It's a guy wrote a book putting together to help you understand like Kabbalah, understanding like why our words sound a certain thing, understanding when God says certain things in the Bible and tying it back to that. It's not getting into another religion or anything, but understand it, like how God, when he gave us light and energy, the earth was living and breathing. Like the Bible is not just saying that figuratively, right? It literally was. I've shown you the Himalayan salt. That's meat, essentially, petrified meat. Now I joke in the house. I'm just like, when I do my Himalayan salt, it's like I'm eating Nephilim meat. It's like, let me get my Nephilim grinder out. Like I literally joke about that. But you can actually see cell walls inside of petrified rocks and things. A lot of things people think are mountains or peaks. They were giant trees. You can actually see where they were cut off at the top. It makes no sense that this, you could literally see that it's a tree that were cut off. Like there are wonders that God created on this earth, that gave us on this earth, that for some reason they wanted erased. They wanted God completely erased. They want you to just think you're a nothing. You just came from a big bang, and then you evolved from a monkey, and then we're just barreling through space at, it's amazing that people will believe in all of that and not believe in the Bible or the Word of God. It's so complicated. They make it so complicated. You got to have all these degrees and be an astrophysicist they know most of us don't, our minds are not built around, to even understand that. So we just take the government information. Now we can share more information with each other. Things that have been known forever. But this is new information to us. But people will want to believe in aliens. They want to believe in something, a distant planet far, far away. Everything but what the Bible says. Even though, okay, everything that the Bible says has been playing out even today. Everything but God. Because Satan has blinded. See, people who get all this knowledge and degrees and learning, they have to, because they want no accountability for sin, no accountability to something, a higher being. That's all that is, just running from God. I want to acknowledge what is right in front of your face, but you have to open your eyes to see it. I get it. You've been programmed by our government. You've been programmed. But in this day and age, to believe anything the government is saying or believing they love you and they're telling you the truth, I just think, I'm going to tell you, I think you got a better time believing that God loves you than the government at this point. That's just me, but let's keep this going. Let's keep this going. All right.
So again, Palmer Cathedral, an unbelievable structure that was supposedly built in the year 1229. Now, just to give that some context, the first steam engine wasn't invented until the late 1600s. So I'm supposed to believe that this was built in a time when hand and chisel was the tool of use, and there wasn't even a way of getting all the material here other than horse and cart. You've got to be joking. Look at the size of it. So yeah, Palmer Cathedral, an absolute, it stands out like a sore thumb compared to most of the buildings around here. But straight away, a few things that I recognise. You can see the horseshoe shape everywhere, all over the building, where the windows would have been, at the top of the spires, etc. Looks like there's some scaffolding going on, so maybe some restoration work. I doubt very much it will be to the quality of the original build. So yeah, once again, just blown away at the thought that people think this was built in the year 1229, which is about 400 years before the first steam engine was even invented, let alone a power tool. So apparently all this was done with hand and chisel. Just so you know what you're looking at here, in case you are unaware, you see the designs in these windows and the smaller circles, etc. We see them in lots of buildings. These aren't by accident. This is something called cymatics, which is frequency. For example, if you play sound through water, or if you put sand on top of a speaker, you can often make different shapes. A lot of people think those shapes can be used, or those frequencies can be used for healing. So I've pointed this out when I was at Prague Castle/Cathedral. The horseshoe. We will see the horseshoe shape time and time again across all of these buildings, sometimes as windows, sometimes as doors, sometimes blocked out like this. But if you notice, it's the horseshoe everywhere. And again, it's not accidental. This shows massively intelligent design by whoever built this, not us, because the horseshoe is a really, really, really strongly shaped magnet. It's specifically used even today in generators, and I'm suggesting this could be an old energy generator building. And it's also used in the medical industry because you can pinpoint the electromagnetism on certain parts of the body. Now, as the same with a lot of these old world energy centers, which we inherited and now call cathedrals and castles, etc., you'll notice that at the top of the spires you often have this almost jagged antiquitech, and it's repeated all over. My belief is that this design is not accidental, but it's used as a way, or it was used by whoever built it, as a way to pull energy out of the ether which is around us. There is energy all around us, frequency, etc. But one thing that I really want to point out here is this. If you know your symbolism, you will know that this is an extremely occult image that you're looking at. Now again, don't get me wrong, as massive and as unbelievable as these buildings are, that we are told are cathedrals and castles, which I don't believe was built by us in a time when supposedly we were rolling around in horse and cart, hand and chisel, etc. I just can't buy that, you know? But imagine if this was only the tip of the building. Imagine if actually it went a lot further underground, you know? You have to ask, why are the doors, etc., so huge? Who were they built for? Even around the back here of Palmer Cathedral. I mean, look at the size of these doors. You can see where they've had to cut out normal size doors within whatever there was there before. Absolutely gigantic. Look at the intricacy on all of the antiquitech that we see, which is repeated over and over and over again, all over the building, to the same standard, you know? Can you imagine trying to do that with hand and chisel? It's like laser precision that we're looking at.
All right. So I'm gonna play this one now. I'm gonna jump over. I want to show you something. I talked about earlier about them having like a mobile phone. Oh, there's some wild stuff out there. Wild. Once you start to see it, you can't unsee it anymore. But look at this.
This is in the 1920s, and you'll never look at a fire hydrant the same after this, okay? These ladies have a transmitter receiver box in their hand. They wrap the cord around the fire hydrant that is grounded in the ground, electrical currents coming up, everything's connected in the city, and they make a call. They make a wireless call in the 1920s. Now, this is a smart city. This is a smart city using the Earth's natural currents to call somebody in the 1920s. What are we doing here? Why are we getting excited about the little technology that we get after it was invented or found hundreds of years ago? Hundreds of years ago.
Did you guys know that? Oh, there's more that they have video of, pictures of, electric scooters. Like there is ancient depictions of cell phones. I know I sound crazy. I can show you. Like literally ancient depictions of cell phones and computers. You guys think I'm joking. But I'll show you this one first, and then let me see if you guys want to see that. I'll show it. It's what they lied about everything. Every single thing.
I need to talk today because I don't want to be the person who tells you I told you so, but do you remember back in March when we all started to discuss what was potentially underneath the Great Pyramids in Egypt? The cylinder-like tubes that went down almost 2 miles into the ground. You remember that? And do you remember how so many people came as quickly as possible to say, it's not true, it's absolutely false, that will never happen, nope, nope, nope. Well, guess what? Recent scans show that
the ones shown in the kind of 3D images and everything, yeah.
those cylinder tubes are actually there, but that's just the tip of the iceberg because there are even larger ones that go on for miles and miles. And the guys who are in charge of this project just had a press conference debunking the naysayers who tried to come and say that there was nothing down there. Now here's where the cool stuff starts to show up. Not only have they proven that the cylinder-like structures and the chamber at the bottom of them do in fact exist at the bottom of the Great Pyramid, but all of the pyramids in the surrounding area have the exact same cylinder structures and chambers at the bottom that are all interconnected. Now here's where it gets extremely interesting. Not only do they believe that these structures and chambers were built by an even more advanced civilization, they believe that the Egyptians built the pyramids over top of these structures to cut off access to the inside of them. Oh yeah, and I can't forget to tell you that recent scans have also shown that there's something, a chamber of sorts, underneath the Sphinx, right near the pyramids too. And if your mind hasn't been blown enough already, they believe that these structures are over 38,000 years old. Hey, but you don't have to take my word for it, because anything that you want to know about now is at your fingertips, and you can go down the rabbit hole all for yourself. Which is why I want to have this conversation with all of you today. Have you watched the press conference? Are you excited about what has now been confirmed at the bottom of the pyramids? Because I personally think this is going to finally shed light on everything we've been taught to believe is in fact a lie. And I want to have this conversation with all of you today because this is groundbreaking.
They said it was a hoax. They said it was a conspiracy theory. They said we're all lying. That's what they said, guys. Is that what they told you? That's what they told us. And now it feels so good when people call you conspiracy theorists and then the information finally comes out. I said this, I think, on a live stream, and somebody in the comments was like, that was debunked. It would be better if you say nothing. It would be better if you say nothing at all. Nothing at all. You just saw some people say it was debunked. I'm serious. Somebody just speak out of turn. Just say it because you saw a little something or you looked a little bit. But you're telling me that humans did that? No, aliens did it. I've shown you. We know who did it. The fallen angels. I have shown you the video, like the where it talks about in Enoch that the 200 fallen angels that fell to earth, there were 20 who were like the leaders that taught us technology, taught us, because they wanted us to have this knowledge of God. Their goal is to get back through the firmament to God, get back up there. They told you even in the movie Noah, right? And a lot of Christians like, that's not biblical. That's not this, that, and the other. They all know the truth. These fallen angels, where they say they have found, and guys, they have found almost exactly 190 craters. There's 200 fallen angels, these huge angels that fell. We know they were giant through the Bible talks about Nephilim and all that. We've gotten into that. But they found these 200, they found 190 so far. I think they found all 200. They haven't told us about all of them. 200 giant meteor craters. Almost like the exact number of fallen angels that the Word of God talks about. That were cast out of heaven and fell to the earth. The exact number. Let me show you this. No, guys. Oh, that went back. Sorry, I gotta show you this. Let me turn off this music. No, guys, meteors fell to the earth. I don't know if I can mute this one. If I show it, hold on. Because I definitely want to mute this. Let me share this window. Oh, no, remove you. All right, add to stage. It looks so weird on here. But the only way I can show this is it's actually it doesn't let me do it. I would have to screen grab because it's like a picture thing. It doesn't let me download this actual thing. Let me see if it hold on. Let me just remove it for a second. Because these are the pictures that I want to show you guys that somebody has put together. I wonder if let me see if it does let me download so you guys can see it bigger. If not, we'll do it on the next one. Where like a computer in ancient depictions, a woman working at a computer. I'm not joking. There's even more. It's wild. If you haven't seen this stuff before, it may be a little jarring or weird. Let me refresh myself while I'm doing this. I'll be go into black for a second. I'm here. I'm here. I'm just trying to add this in for you guys. I had to refresh it. Let me see if this lets me download it because I think it's important for you guys to see these pictures because people are going to say, Melanie, you're lying. Am I? Am I lying? Am I lying? And I want to finish that Tartaria video we were looking at the other day, but I don't want it to glitch again, but I may try it. Yes, I'm back. Hi guys. All right, let's see if this lets me add it. Ooh, I hope so. I hope so. No, we got to figure out how we're going to do this another way. Oh, it lets me put it on here. Okay, great. Great. Let me see if it lets me. All right, so let me add this. Perfect. All right, so these are different ancient depictions. Let me see if it has music. Okay, good. It took the music off. Oh, no, it didn't. Never mind. I'm going to mute myself. I'm still glitchy. Gosh, this computer. I don't know what is going on. One day we'll get it fixed, but we're just going to ride it till the wheels fall off. I'm going to take myself off the screen for a second so we could just focus on this. Maybe I should have edited this so you can, I don't know how way to make it bigger. Let me, let's go to view. Oh, zoom in. Yay. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm just not technologically advanced. I'm like us today. We're not technologically advanced. I'm going to take myself off because, again, I'm glitching and it's getting on my nerves. But you'll still be able to hear me. Okay. So let's go through this. Hopefully you can see it on the screen. So look at that. So you have this depiction of a what is that? Why can't I think? A tank, right? Some people say, well, you can't really tell. All right, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Are you going to play? Oh, you're not going to play. All right, I'll have to scroll it myself. I don't know what that is. I don't know what some of these, I don't know what it is. Like this one, I didn't know what it was. I don't know. I don't know what that is. But look at that. Like, so this is the drawing of like what this actually is in like some type of spaceship of this ancient artifact. Can you see that? So this is like the picture of what that is. I just want to make that clear. So the black and white one is the picture of the artifact, kind of what this was depicting. A spaceship. Or some type of like ship. I don't want to say space, but some type of traveling thing. Whoa, why are you going fast? Look at this depiction. Now this thing wants to start. Look. A creature. So a lot of people want to believe that's alien. We've been conditioned to believe that things that look like this are alien. We've been conditioned to believe that when things look like this, they're alien. Just because we've been conditioned to believe that doesn't mean it's alien. It's not something we see now, but we know there were all types of creatures and they were half human, half animal hybrids. This is known about Nimrod and what he produced. And he would mate with these animals and they would actually literally reproduce. This is why they were told not to, bestiality had to be commanded not to do. This is how bestiality, there's a reason they were commanded not to do bestiality because all types of creatures and things were going on. Half human things, half human, half animal. It is written. Okay. All right. So I don't know what this is a depiction of. Hold on. Oh, here it is. This is the one. I may have to zoom it out. I don't know. Yeah, let's zoom this one out. This is the one that was, look at this, an ancient carving. This woman is on a computer. In fact, let me screenshot this so we can see it even better. I'm going to just take this, right? And I'm going to add it in because this, I was like, what? You have to be lying. You have got to be kidding me. Let me add this to the stage. Look. Is this not a computer? Is this her not sitting at a desk working on this? Is a real artifact, guys. There's thousands of these. They don't show us these. They don't bring them to light. And before social media, we didn't have access to it. Where do you think things that like Stargate, all these movies and sci-fi and the images, where do you think that they come from? They came from artifacts and things that they know. The government works hand in hand with Hollywood. In fact, a lot of movies that have these things, executive producers are military generals, or people from the government. Did you guys know, this is just a fun fact, did you guys know, I know a lot of people think you just go viral on YouTube, which you can, I've done it, but did you know that Mr. Beast's parents were both, I think they're both like part of DARPA, like super high intelligent and high level in the government? And he just went viral like crazy. There's also a video where one of his buddies, they're talking, I think Aiden Ross starts talking about the ice wall. And the buddy was like, yeah, we went or whatever. And Mr. Beast looks at him like, don't keep talking about that. That's just a little something I want to throw out. I don't know why I did it. If you want to go down that rabbit hole, by all means go. But so they show us these things. Where do you think they get these ideas? They're trying to bring back that technology. CERN is a Stargate. Project Stargate, which is a portal. Believe it or not, it's in the CIA documents. I told you about how Saddam Hussein thought he was the reincarnation of Nebuchadnezzar when he found the tomb of Gilgamesh, Nimrod, who was Nimrod, and there was a Stargate there, and they were talking about astral projection and going through time. And literally the movie, right after that, the movie Stargate came out about traveling time and portal and all. So this is where they get their ideas. This is where they get the depictions. This is where they want to get that technology from. What we used to have. All right, let's continue. But did you guys know that all this stuff was depicted already? All right. All right, so let's keep going. Look. Dentistry. Ancient depictions of dentistry. Braces. Mm-hmm. Look at this. Ancient depiction of a bike. I don't know what this is. I think this is like a purse. I'm not sure. So you guys can tell me what you think this is. Some of these objects I couldn't figure out, but I need to go deeper into this. Now, this could be up for interpretation, but again, the stuff we come out with, all the technology they come out, you will see in ancient depictions, it's like it forms the same thing, like they're trying to recreate what they have already found that we have no knowledge of, that they have hidden from us, that the government knows all about. All right. Look at that. Ancient depiction of an electric scooter. This is an ancient statue of an electric scooter. Look at that. On a wall, ancient depiction of a cell phone. Now, I can go and we could do a video where I locate where all these are and pull this together. But this is the person who put this together. They are excellent at what they do. And they've just put together a compilation of other like deeper videos that they've done. But look, there's your cell phone. And I showed you where the fire hydrants were not originally for water. They were energy. And you wrap your little phone. We saw that. They have the literal video from the 1920s and wrapping the little thing around the fire hydrant and then calling people using the umbrella to harvest the electricity and to transmit. Those are real. This is all real, guys. I forget what this is called, but the menorah. This is a menorah, ancient depiction of menorah. It's not technology, but look, ancient depiction of a spacesuit. Now, Pete, this could be up for interpretation, but isn't it uncanny? Uncanny. Let me see what else they have. This one, people believe, is a bomb. But again, it could be interpreted different ways. But here is a depiction of a craft. This is where they come up with these were alien crafts. And you see the depictions, this is where they get what these things look like. But we don't know what these fallen angels and creatures and demons and again, they're talking about trying to get back to build these smart cities. We already had all of this technology. I believe these crafts that they have, like these little things, I believe those are drones. I kid you not. I really think it's drones. Like, what else? Like some people say, oh, because the aliens came down. But again, you've been conditioned to believe that that's what it is. That's a narrative. That's not proven. That's all theory and narrative. It looks like a drone to me, or a large drone, or a craft to be able to fly. Okay. Look at your girl. She is pressing buttons on her cell phone. Wait, ooh. Why is this moving like this? Hold on. Look at your girl. She's pressing buttons on her cell phone, and then she's putting it up to her ear to talk. Child, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. This is nasty work. Nasty work by the government and these technocrats. Nasty work. They invented it. Didn't they? Look at sis. I mean, she is like vibing, posted on the wall. One is dialing, the other one's got it up to the ear. Are you kidding me? We're not that smart. Humans are not that smart. We only use 10% of our brain. Where do you think we got all this? It even says that the fallen angels taught us about abortion. That's what the book of Enoch says. A man who never died. There's a reason. They gave us a reason. Well, no, this wasn't canon. This is why they took it out of the Bible because, blah, 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 blah. You believe that? Government, Psyop. To disguise and blind us. The book of Enoch says we were taught this technology. We were taught this technology, and they've hidden it from us through lies and narrative and propaganda and psyops, so that when they come out with it, they can enrich themselves as though this technology is new. Open your eyes. Let's continue. Let's see if they have any more. This is just showing some things coming from the Pope. And there's some symbolism, which gets into a little different thing. Oh, Nikola Tesla. Look what he invented. Really? Did he? Is that what you want to tell me? Look at that. You know why I'm showing you this? I would curse, but I'm living for the Lord now. But F their AI. They're trying to this is when they're trying to we already had all that. I'm protected and provided for. Fudge their AI. I'll say it like that. I forgot you guys can't see me. I'm over here making faces and everything, but I'm so glitchy. I didn't want you to see me like that. But look, oh, they're inventing it. No, they're just trying to pull up ancient technology they've hidden from us and sold us narratives about where all this came from and all of that. But we didn't have access to this information. Okay. I'm playing soccer. This is a whole thing we can get into, them trying to break the firmament. They deal in a lot of symbolism. Look at this ancient card. We like everything we've done, we get it all from here. Like, and we just look at it and think it looks weird and it looks goofy and we don't know what it means and it's pagan and it's symbolism and it's occult. This is so tiny. I don't even know if you guys can see it. But having the goggles already, we just are just reinventing. Look at this. R2D2. Look at him. And isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? George R. R. Martin, I think, I don't know if he ever referenced Tartaria. I used to watch a lot of his talks and things with Game of Thrones. But doesn't it sound a lot like the Targaryens? The Targaryens? George said that he pulled from history. He talks about the War of the Roses a lot with that, but he said he pulled from a lot of ancient text and he pulled from everywhere to create these worlds. Star Wars too. They didn't invent any of it. Any of it. Propaganda. You can enjoy it. I do. But I'm just telling you, it came from somewhere. Like, again, some of these things, I don't even know. What is that? Is this what is this? I don't even know. If you guys know what that is, I don't know. But again, it goes on and on and on. Okay? On and on and on. Look at this. They just came up with a plane, with a craft, a aircraft, in this old little statue. And these are all over the place if you look. But we've never used our eyes to see this. Look, depictions of a helicopter. Are you kidding me now? I'm done. I'm done with this world. I don't even know. What are we living in? What is happening right now? So this is just there's some more. Look, a car. Look at the car at the top. Gee, help me. Help me. Help me. Look. No. What was it? Henry Ford. Benjamin Franklin. Nikola Tesla. Okay. Look. Are you going to tell me they are not two bros? I don't know what who this is. I'm just going to say, I call everything Tartaria at this point. Two Egyptian kind of looking Tartaria dudes sitting in the car, bros chilling in the car at the top. And then look at what? Did you guys know about this? Again, this is where they get the depictions of aliens. They told you these are aliens. I can't even tell what this is. I can't tell what this is. What is this? I can't tell what this is. Yeah, some of these I can't tell. They're holding something. All of them are holding something. What are these? Are these purse? But that one makes sense to be a purse. What are these? Some type of laptop? I'm going to have to go and I'll explore that more so we can talk about it. But I don't know. There's something about these because it's not just a purse. Why were they all depicted holding these things? And there's thousands of them. So let me make myself bigger. So I just wanted to show you guys this stuff, right? Just a kind of introduction. So we'll get more into it. I'm going to do a deeper dive into this technology because see, I'm all glitchy again. I don't know about you, but it gives me peace to just know they don't know what they're doing. They're just trying to summon the demons. That's what Elon Musk says. They're trying to summon the gods. They're trying to, when the AI, the guy who invented AI, in an interview, I played it. He said, I didn't invent AI. That's a misnomer. That's what was said. No, it was just we found the technology, and then we unlocked the artificial intelligence. We unlocked this thing, this being, this intelligence that already existed. We wrote the code so that we can bring it into form, life form. Again, they were trying to create digital God. They're trying to get back to this level, but claim it as their own. Like it's very multi-layered. But are you starting to see how some of this is all working together? And we didn't know about it? I don't think this has anything, guys, to do with child sacrifice. This is technological. There's something about this. But once I'll just dig a little bit and I'll get the information on what this actually is depicting. And we'll go through it some more. There's even pictures from like the 1800s where people are on electric scooters, like all types of things that we've just not had access to. And you've got to start asking why. Do your own research. Just don't take what I'm saying. It's all out there. And we've just got to dig in. And this is why for me, this is comforting. This is comforting. There's a reason why they hid all of this, lied about our history, lied about church, don't even teach us certain things. We already know about the main psyops, That's when people keep talking about Israel. Like, guys, you're on the surface. You got to raise up the consciousness. We got to go deeper. It's way bigger and deeper than that. You aren't getting anything out of our government. We got to vote these people out. Okay. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Are we voting again? Are we? Okay. They said we weren't. It's just a joke. It was just a dunk on the libs, I guess, if that's what you want to believe. Because all this stuff is happening right now for no reason at all. No reason. Where's my favorite picture? Let's go with my favorite. Actually, the cell phone one I love, but this car one is egregious. An egregious, outrageous, outlandish psyop. This is outrageous. We as humans, we're too dumb to do all of this. Of course, they're just trying to bring this is what they're trying to get back to. There was the Great Flood, and I believe we don't know everything that happened before the flood. This is why the Apocrypha helps a lot. It ties in and gives you a lot of history and an understanding. But also we get into, these books were removed from the Bible because it wasn't canon. Who told you that? The theologians? The people in cemetery? That's what they told you? King James, who was gay and wanted to keep power. Even the Greek that was translated, the Hebrew and Greek that was translated in a way so that make sure, obey slaves, obey your masters. There's a lot. No, the Bible is living and breathing. They couldn't kill it completely, but I'm just telling you. Even with what we've been taught, it makes no sense. And most of these people in seminary and pastors and apologists and who want to debate and get into all this, are they telling you about this? Do they believe in space? They make fun of people, say, "Oh, you're a flat earther." I'm sorry, no, I'm a Bible believing Christian. I thought you were. In the Word of God says we're under a firmament, and that the earth is fixed on pillars, and that the firmament dome separates us from the waters above and the waters below. During the flood, it says God opened the windows of the firmament of the heavens, and the water came in. But these are the same people that would tell you, the same people that would tell you that wasn't canon, but they believe in space and all that. They don't even follow the word of God. It's cemetery, not seminary. Listen to that. Are they telling you about digital ID? Are they looking at world events? No, they just like to argue, and they're no better than people who on debate shows is going off on each other. The truth was supposed to be living within, these people. They're supposed to be teaching us all of this stuff that is separate what the world teaches us. This is what Christian school should have been teaching us. I went to Christian school my whole life. They taught us about creation, but then also we learned about space and planets and all this other stuff. It's literally today a mix of evolution and creation. This is why we don't have a full understanding. They don't want us to know. And you've got to start asking why. But do your own research. So guys, thank you. I appreciate it. Shout out again to my moderator. Yeah, that's what he said. Jordan, he's saying, like, so true, Melanie. So many people just want to go and argue on channels, debating and was this canon or not? You, boy, if you don't get out my face, you're not even, you still believe we're a ball barreling through space and then all of these planets and things. You don't even believe the word of God. I don't have you. There's nothing you can teach me. If the Bible is true and you say it's true, what every depiction of Earth was always under a firmament and a waters above, waters below, on pillars. The four corners of the earth. Not just the Bible, like every civilization, every map that you can find. And now they say, no, well, now we have better technology. So now we know the earth is round and we have space. And that's a new thing. NASA and them, they just came out with that. But I'm showing you they had better technology then than we do now. Everything is a lie. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because we got better technology, so we can see it now. So, yeah, we can see the Earth is a ball, even though every picture of Earth that they show us is CGI. Right? You know what NASA means in Hebrew? My stomach growling. You know what NASA means in Hebrew? I'm gonna let that be your homework. All right, guys. So thank you for being here. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll probably do a daytime live and then I'll do an evening live. I just want to put it all together so you guys can see it. And if you guys have any things, and I think maybe tomorrow, if there's topics you want me to cover, we can just start going down rabbit holes and we'll just start. If you guys, asking questions, we'll just go down the rabbit hole, find all of these different things. Right? You got a question about, and we'll just explore together, explore our world, because we don't want to just be mired down with, digital ID and all that. They want us scared. They want us terrified. They want us fighting left and right, black and white, fighting like roaches. That's what they want. That's all a distraction. I don't know for you, but for me, this elevated my consciousness. I don't really care. I don't want to be in this world. Y'all can fight about the government. Y'all can keep your government in America. Oh, America. Maybe we should go down that rabbit hole of how we were really founded. Were we founded? I mean, talking about the Like when I talk about like Kabbalah and understanding words, like they're talking about the foundation of America. Like you'll see the foundation, that word and stuff like that. But it's derived from found nation. Like there's a lot to go into. So I think these are things that we can discuss, but who's doing what, who said what. I look at the news and track it because it helps me pay attention and look at the signs and wonders, look at prophecy, understand what's happening. But the thing that elevates me to a different consciousness, a different light, a different understanding are seeing these things, opening my eyes. But then as we go deeper and deeper, you're going to transcend the fear of this world and your 2-year plan, 5-year plan, 20-year plan. And they sold us the American dream that never existed. That is propaganda. Every war we fought, everything, all propaganda. Condition us. We're the greatest country on earth. You just have to think about, where do these come from? I mean, there's pyramids and sphinx in literally all around our country with Egyptian hieroglyphics. No, it wasn't the natives. The buildings we have here, the World's Fair, that is those are the things we have to unpack. And to me, that's the world I want to think about. Those are the things I want to focus on and understand. And this is how you're going to get a full picture. And this is how, seek and you will find. God will give us the wisdom and will reassure us. By these things you will know. As you unpack these things, you can rest. Because some people say, well, is the Bible real? Was Jesus real? Was this real? Was this that? I don't see anything, because that's how they want us. We're so poisoned. We're so sick. Even if you feel great and you feel like you're in great health, even how medicine was founded here, even with the snake wrapped around the brass rod, that's literally biblical. Isn't that funny? Isn't that a funny symbol for medicine? The snake around a rod? You'd be surprised how it's snakes everywhere in the symbolism in our world today that our government uses. School of Medicine. And there's a reason for it. So even how good we feel today, we are still sick. We're purposely sick. They have made us slaves. They couldn't have all this free flowing energy and technology and things because they had to make sure they could profit from it. Okay? Are you get where this is going? They want us worried. They want us in fear. They want us chaotic. They want us fighting for our life. They want you a slave. I mean, everything. The new world that we are going to get, not the world they're trying to create, what the Bible tells us, we can't even imagine. But for me, when I start to see these things, it just starts to open me up. So like, wow, really? And then again, as we start to walk through this book of wisdom, and I show you some of these things from Kabbalah, again, not another religion. Understand. We'll walk through what this is. It ties into help you understand certain things in the Bible that we really didn't have an enlightenment about. As we raise our consciousness, okay, and look up, the things of this world, it falls away. And now we're kind of forced into the position to do nothing but look up, because look at what's happening. We're getting to the end, guys. We're getting to the end, but we have hope. So with that, I will see you guys tomorrow.